Hi chat, you look very cute today. Yo. Best community has. I'm one away from becoming a reactionary conservative. Sussy. 6 months hyperpogger. These past 3 months have been fulfilling. Thanks.
Stream, it's all a meme. So now what are we waiting for? Waiting for Hasan. What will he do when he's live? Open up the casino, let the gamble in. It's time to sit. I bet we're gonna be sitting here waiting for Hasan. I used to come here for politics. Now I watch him game and yell at great names all day. God, how long have I been sitting here waiting for Hasan? Waiting for Hasan. Waiting for Hasan. Waiting for Hasan.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, a fantastic afternoon, a fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We are live and alive, and I hope all the boys, I hope all the girls,
right? And do you know how this
and I hope all the MBs are having a fantastic one. It was very cold out in the morning, and now it is no longer cold. It's actually really fucking nice out. Such is the case in sunny California, Los Angeles. It is 70 degrees and sunny here on a beautiful, fantastic morning here on Wednesday, October 13th, 2021, 11:16 a.m. And I am right on time, as a matter of fact. I know that has been a common occurrence for some time now, I know that that is what you're used to from this broadcast. And I choose to continue to serve
Your mum.
in that way. Folks, yesterday I ended the broadcast early after 3 hours, and that was probably one of the shortest ones I've done that's not an IRL stream. And there was a reason for that. And the reason for that was because I was shooting something with offline TV. I will not reveal the secrets or the leaks of what took place, but I had an incredible time. I touched grass. I was around other human beings that I normally see and interact with behind a camera. High key recommend that experience to all of you that can do that. My life is like a movie, yo. It's like a Squid Game. Yeah, I put the tracksuit up, obviously on my Instagram, as a matter of fact, not just on my Instagram story. You might have seen it if you follow my Instagram. I did post a picture of it. That doesn't mean anything. You don't know anything. You know what the fuck's going on, but you're too rich to be in the Squid Game. First of all, rich people can be in the Squid Game as well. No spoilerinos, but
last time I heard she had sex was when you last fucked her.
What? The fuck was that?
It's not trick or treats. It's revolution or treats this year, boys.
I don't even know what that was.
Hello Hasan and chat, hope you are well.
Dude, I just like, donos are so far behind. I'm trying to find the dono that said that, but I can't find it.
One yil has flex, one yil has flex, one yil
anyway,
has flex, one yil has flex, one yil has flex, one
first game,
flex, one yil has flex,
plug in the USB
flex,
correctly in one try.
Flex, one
no, I
yil
won't
has
tell you.
flex.
Did you see LeBron talking about Squid Game? I did not see a video of LeBron talking about Squid Game. Anyway, listen. Stop spoiling the game. Stop spoiling anything. But yeah, last night was fucking awesome. Last night was freaking awesome, dude. It was a lot of fun. I personally enjoyed it. Hopefully, I can't wait for you guys to see what came about. But there's a lot of news to cover because yesterday I was not able to cover a lot of stories because I had to leave early, and I was still late. I was the latest person to the shoot, by the way. Of course. It was like me and Leslie that came in right after one another. So, and I had like timed everything. It sucks because I literally timed everything. I was like, I timed the shit perfectly. Like everything's going to be good. I'm going to be on time, and I wasn't. Anyway, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, but there's nothing really too much going on other than that. Did you see the tweet about the stadium? I did. Oh my fucking god. It's gotten to a point in my career. Gotten to a point in my career where like I think this is no longer like a private little space for us. I mean, it never was really. But I now have like a designated audience of motherfuckers who are in here exclusively clip shit out of context and be like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. You're a dummy. You don't deserve nice things. I deserve them, actually. Please subscribe to my podcast or whatever the fuck. Where, you know, over the course of an 8-hour period, you can fucking clip anything out of context and make me look like a person who doesn't believe in the things that I advocate for on a regular basis. So we're there. I mean, this has always happened, but it's gonna keep happening. Probably gonna happen a lot more now. The more I'm in the news and the more like criticism I get from randos on the internet, the more other people are gonna like. It's just how it works with brands. You know what I mean? The brand was on the come up. The HasanAbi brand was on the up and up. But now it's like,
oh, good 13 months. Where is my child support? Thanks
now
for
there's
all the streams. Hope you have a great stream, and thanks for dealing with chats and my dumb takes. Hazel.
Okay, I'm gonna restart the broadcast.
Yeah,
dude.
you made it over a year.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, prenoon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker. This is HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. We are live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one. It is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. I'm having a tough go at the moment. Okay. Oh, Jesus. It's just one of those days, man. It's just one of those fucking days. Okay. It doesn't have to be like it. Doesn't have to be like that. Okay, but it is. Are those the apple dews? No, it's watermelon. Watermelon sugar. Anyway.
Let's go.
Fuck. Yeah, I'm late. I know, and I apologize. Is that the shield behind you to block? Clip Chipper didn't plug a podcast. They didn't plug a podcast or Patreon. They plugged the book they read. I don't think they were bad faith. I think they were just immune to humor context. Yeah. You have to be a real fucking idiot if you think that, like, I legitimately believe building stadiums is socialism.
Yummy cummies in my tummies, we hassle.
Anyway, but that's whatever. That's besides the point. The larger point about this is that, like I said, this shit's gonna happen more and more frequently. Hopefully it'll die down. You know, hopefully things will fucking quiet down a little bit, because like things are socialism is when nothing, I can't say anything without it being fully in context, and every single thing I should say has to be Marxian thought. Anyway.
Hi Chat and Hasan. Glad to be back, hassle.
Will leftovers be on Apple, Spotify eventually? I have no idea why it's not. I don't know what's going on. Is it not? I thought it was. I'll ask Ethan. Anyway, earlier today I recorded an episode with an episode of Fear of Malding with Matt Walsh and Tim Simons. And it was fucking awesome, dude. It was really fun. I'm a huge fan. Do you guys know? Are you familiar with Veep? First of all, first and foremost, here is my latest Instagram post. Go like it. Go write a funny fucking comment underneath it. I read that shit. I've been wearing the beanie for 3 days in a row now. Like, this is my beanie now. This is the beanie that I've been wearing. I wore it to the fucking Squid Game thing. The funniest part about the Squid Games was I literally cannot fucking fit. Like, I don't know how bad I look. I don't know how fucking fat I look, but like I could not fit. They gave me they got clothes for me that did not fit me at all. And then also, this is Matt Walsh, the good Matt Walsh, not the fucking fash Matt Walsh, not the fascist one. Steve Zissou looking ass. Yeah, them pants are tight as fuck. But yeah, I got to hang out with them, and they're fucking brilliant, and they're fucking hilarious, and I really enjoy the podcast. I can't wait for you guys to see it. You do not look fat. No, I mean I was busting out of it, dude. What was the Squid Game thing you did? The Squid Game thing that I did was for offline TV, where we just did Squid Games. On Apple, it's just not titled Leftovers. It says it in the description instead. Oh, okay. Got it. Yes, I know Biden's approval rating has dropped. Pollsters say there's one way to bounce back, and it's amongst African American and Latino voters. Why is the number 13 significant to you? I don't know. Think about it real quick. Why would I be number 13 on the Squid Games? Why would I pick that number? Think about it. Because my fucking Twitch career is a Squid Games, bro. My life is a movie, dude. That's right, dude. That's right, brother.
I appreciate your company every day. Thanks for your voice as truth.
Did you see Dumpy Trumpy tease 2024 run? Oh yeah, dude. I see you more of a 9/11 than 13. We'll do a little bit of hog watch with hog nurses and shit. Hospital in rural Missouri where one employee tells her she's willing to lose her job rather than get the COVID-19 vaccine. We'll do that. How did you get Matt and Tim on the pod? I love them so much. I got them on the pod because they have their own pod.
"13 months, Pog."
We will get to the Xinjiang AP article. Yes. Do not worry. Do not fucking worry. We will get to that. Okay. Obviously, I was going to talk about it yesterday, but I'm going to talk about it today instead. I didn't have time to get to it. Hogs are outside NASA protesting the mandate here in Houston. Nice.
Give me all
I
your
will die if you don't
nonsense
cover
around.
China. Dude, I literally said I was going to cover it yesterday. Okay. Fucking chill. Fucking chill, dude. Don't worry, I'll find a way to fucking do some CIA propaganda regardless. You know what I mean? I did see a Republican politician say that. A stadium girl is a gaming frog. Oh, the person who... Yeah, I thought that was a fan. I thought they were just like fucking memeing instead of like taking it seriously. Anyway, listen to Tony Hawk pod on the way to work this morning. Super solid chunk on him talking about Skatistan, inside scoop type beat, keep up the fire. I mean, I thought that was cool. There was another thing. We got their takes on Dave Chappelle, but then they fucking deleted it. They didn't want it out. Are you gonna react to the OTV Squid Game vid when it comes out? Of course I will. I'm in it, dude. Obviously, don't be ridiculous. Anyway, let's get started. Lots of news to cover. Since I was doing Squid Games yesterday. Supply chain breakdown. Biden approvals are low.
Let's go 6 months and many more to
Could
come.
cause chaos during holiday treat season.
Hey, Hasan.
Hog watch and more. Get in now. Okay, www. Dude, it was so much fun hanging out with the offline TV folks though. Like I had so much fucking fun. I mean, I feel like I say that all the time, but
3-month poggies.
I really enjoyed it. Like it's always every time someone asks me to do something that's like off stream, I'm like, ugh, do I want to do it? I kind of don't want to do it. Do I really want to do it? And then I end up doing it. And when I end up doing it, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm so glad I did it. However, as soon as the stream starts again, I forget about it. You know what I mean? As soon as the stream starts, I forget about how much fun I had, and I don't ever want to do that again until I am invited to do it again, and then I just say, fuck it, let's do it. Does that make sense?
Poggers.
There's still K-pop stands in this chat coping. Yeah, me wearing the Squid Game outfit is actually appropriating Korean culture and K-pop culture too.
Let's go.
You think your Matt Walsh isn't a fascist? What the fuck? Where is this from? I don't even know.
To the best
where is this from?
Love your content, big guy.
From Community?
Keep up the
That's
good
called
work,
depression,
Hasan.
homie.
Proud
I
of
don't
you.
think it's fucking depression, man. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't think I'm depressed. Like, I think it's inappropriate for me to say I'm depressed. I have a fucking great time. I love my life. I'm super happy. Like, I'm super fortunate. I don't think I'm depressed at all. Oh, here. The fucking I fired off the tweet, so go like it and retweet it and stuff. I'm posting images underneath the tweets now so that I can, you know, get more like, so it's easier for people to retweet because there's something cool to look at, you know? More like you have stream Stockholm syndrome? Maybe. I love my routine more than anything else. I love my routine more than anything else. I love this community. I love spending time in here more than anything else. So whenever I get away from that, I'm like, it's like scary. It's a scary space to be in. I've gotten so used to it. You know? I've gotten so used to just like doing shit. Maybe it's ADHD. I don't know. It's more an anxiety thing. It's not. I don't feel anxiety though. North Korean military does an anime training montage. Ooh, what is this?
Hi, Hasan.
Oh my god, that's fire.
원수들이 이 땅에 덤벼든다면 조국의 평온을 지켜 한몸 그대로 무쇠 주먹이 되고 번개 같은 비수가 될 굳은 교리가 가슴마다에 비껴 있습니다.
6 months. Yeah. Existence is pain.
Oh my god, they're beating his ass. That's crazy. They're playing. Wait, they're fans of My Hero Academia in North Korea?
이 땅의 품속에서 자란 조선인민군 군인의 힘과 지상, 혈기와 용맹이 어떤 것인지.
What the fuck are they doing, bro? Okay, I gotta stop the anime music. That's crazy. It's weird how important these displays are for DPRK. They had the shit kicked out of them in the Korean War, so these displays are a way of telling the citizens, hey, we got you. The Imperials will have to go through us. Wacky, yes. But I get it. Bro, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
만천하에 떨치는 일당백 전투원들입니다.
Every day is Father's Day. Love you, Hasan. 7 months, baby.
우리 전투원들은 경애하는 최고 사령관 동지께서 안겨주신 담력과 배짱, 천한 무적의 억센 힘과 용맹을.
I'm gonna be watching this a lot more. This is the weakest North Korean, dude. Yeah. North Korea saw fucking Squid Games and was like, psh, get the fuck out of here with that weak ass capitalist counter-revolutionary bullshit. Oh, you want to fucking do like unionization. Guess what, dude? North Korean Squid Games goes crazy, okay?
Never reads my sub has rant.
This is just weird as those roided out dudes that would do shit for Jesus in the 90s.
Thank you for everything.
Bro, these guys will literally, dude, I've been watching Baki. And these guys remind me of the second. I don't know if you guys have seen Baki. Like the new one. the new Baki where it's like George Bushu. And there's a guy in prison and he's a revolutionary who like who trains on this island, and then they gain independence, and then George Bushu wants to like fucking destroy the island, and Che Guevara, yeah, his name is Che Guevara. No, his name literally is Che Guevara, but he's not Che Guevara, okay? Like, it's someone different. Why are you doing the inflection thing? I don't know, because that's how he says it in the fucking... So, the island is literally Cuba, and the revolutionary that they have in it is actually Che Guevara, right? But in the Baki universe, he's like going up against George Bushu, okay? And Che Guevara is... he's like trained everyone to not use weapons and make do with their hands. And he's basically sent sleeper agents to every state too.
Oh, yes, 2 months.
And these agents are able to overtake nuclear facilities. They can hijack a plane with their bare hands, shit like that. Yeah, and his second-hand man is Vital Castro. I don't know how to... Vital Castro. I guess in the manga, it might be like literally Che Guevara and Fidel Castro.
Let's go 10 months straight.
I have to show you the sequence, dude. I don't know if it's on, like... Oliver! I mean, I'm sure, I haven't seen that part yet, but...
Smile.
Did they change the names from like George Bush to Mr. Bushu? Because like they didn't want that or something? Like Netflix USA didn't want that to happen? No, that was a fan mistranslation. Yujiro Hanma and Biscuit Oliver are goats.
For months, let's go hassle.
Same with JoJo. He's called George Bush in the dub. George Bushu.
He says.
It's not literally Che Guevara. English translators fucked that up. I mean, his name is Che Guevara. It's not Che, it's J, like the letter J. I just love, dude. Yeah, Jun Guaveru. Wrongly romanticizes Che Guevara in the English fan translation as a fictional character from the manga series. I mean, dude, yeah, it does not draw inspiration from that, sure.
Lol, 17 months.
He's a former pirate of the high seas who went on to found his own sovereign nation of Lacerna. Guevaru is one of the 2 free men in the Arizona prison, along with Biscuit Oliva. He's notorious for his radical political philosophy, his anti-capitalism, and more specifically anti-US stance. The crime he's presumably imprisoned for is that he broke into George Bush's house and threatened his family. After Bush considered using bullying military tactics against Lacerna and his harsh discipline, he is on the show. He's a very confident and at times somewhat arrogant man that never once doubts his fighting abilities. I won't like spoil it, but it's fucking awesome. The reason why I love Baki and if you ever have like any interest in like realism, you will fucking hate Baki. Like you will despise it. But the reason why I love Baki is because one, they have real life characters and shit in it all the time, and everything is solved through fighting and like how muscular you are. But the reason why I love it is because I was thinking about this last night. It's basically like, it's as if a fucking kid, like me as a baby, this is the type of shit I would think about. Okay?
A year already hassle.
Like, it's like babies wrote it. Okay? It's a child's brain where like, think about the most insane thing that can happen. It'll happen in Baki. It's on Netflix. Yeah. #ad.
Has raid.
What? Also on the Jolt this AM, one of the hosts for a weekend fundraiser for Herschel Walker this weekend appears to have a swastika in her profile pic. We have reached out for a response from the Walker camp. Oh, it's a fucking not a regular swastika. They're saying that the vaccines are swastikas. Come on, guys. Get it right. That time Yujiro Hanma stopped an earthquake by punching the ground. Yeah, it's always like that. It's like they fucking punch natural catastrophes out of existence, dude. Like, oh Jesus, gain of function research on the Joe Rogan Experience. Okay.
The Joe Rogan.
Have you seen the new Mutahar and COVzilla series on gambling? Goes in on Brother Banks towards the end of it. Oh no. Anyway, okay, that's all you had to say. I'm watching it now. Why did the North Korean flag look like the symbol from Berserk? I don't know. Yeah, Yujiro Hanma killed a 45-ton super elephant. Like, there's a super elephant that the entire military is like fighting, and like thousands of people die, and then Yujiro Hanma comes in and fucking destroys the elephant, and it's like the size of dinosaurs, right? It's a super elephant. It's not a regular elephant, and it's like killing everything, and he just fucking punches it and blows it up. It's fucking awesome. It's the dumbest. The first 2 episodes of the new show are kind of bunk though. Like the elephant part is good, but then there's like a lot of like dream fighting sequences in the first one. You can even skip like episode 2 and 3, but until they get to the fucking super prison. The super prison is like one of my favorite parts of the Baki sequence anyway. I love Biscuit Oliva, the most powerful fighter on the planet other than Baki's father, Ogre. There's a lot of like shadow boxing. It's weird. The first couple episodes are weird, but like the praying mantis one was so stupid. I was just like, I'm gonna fucking not watch the rest of the show if this keeps going. Yujiro Hanma is so powerful that Obama negotiates with him directly. Oh yeah, 100%.
Much love.
Hasan is such a weeb when it comes to Baki. I'm a weeb when it comes to a lot of fucking anime. I just don't go out of my way and like, you know, I don't like being a crusty weeb. You know what I mean? The most disrespectful moments in anime history.
Man literally picked up this big ass nigga with one hand and threw him across the floor and just punched him into the wall. So Baki's like, all right, bro, enough is enough, nigga. So he comes running in just to get that signature backhand. Literally spazzed his whole body out.
Okay, we won't watch this right now. Let's get to the news. There's a lot of news to cover. Maybe after. I like anime, but I don't specifically watch shows because they are anime. I just happen to like a good amount of shows that are anime. I mean, I love animes. Like, I think it's like a muscle. Like once you get used to watching animes, you are just a fan of anime. Yeah. Like, you know, it's fair. All right, so yesterday we left off on the supply chain backlog that's happening in the United States of America. This is something that has personally impacted me in a devastating capacity, of course. I still have yet to receive my Uplift desk, the top of it, rather. I thought that Uplift was manufactured in the United States, and all of its parts were manufactured in the United States. I was wrong, I guess. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
5 months of becoming a filthy
as far as oh, by the way, if you're not getting the notifications, that's why I tell you guys to retweet this shit. If you're in here, retweet like when I tweet out that I'm live, because a lot of people for some weird reason haven't been getting the notifications as of late. Probably when other people are also live at the same time, or when I change up like when I'm live. Twitch's algo just like cucks me. The notifications, yeah. Didn't Updesk Warehouse uplift? Maybe, I don't know. Do you still debate chatters who are willing to try to get their minds changed? Not necessarily, maybe sometimes, but not usually, no. Okay, maybe for a lot of people, they changed their passwords and haven't logged back in on the app, so they didn't get notified. Maybe, I don't know. How much will you pay us to do your job for you and retweet? $0.00. I watch you exponentially more than anyone, but you don't show up until I type Hasan fully in the search bar. I mean, I don't think they fucking like are blackballing me or blacklisting me or anything like that. Don't be crazy. I don't believe in that, but anyway, let's start.
Now to something much less exciting. Americans may need to start their holiday shopping early this year because of bottlenecks in the world's supply chains. Shipping containers and unloaded ships are jamming up ports, and there's a shortage of truck drivers to get the products out to customers. President Biden is meeting with business executives and port directors today to try to address this problem. Meanwhile,
in order to address this problem, they are they're going to change the Long Beach and Los Angeles ports into 24 hours. Like the California ports are going to be operating 24 hours, 7 days a week. Okay? But they already have been, if I'm not mistaken. The White House officially addressed this after this news broke, by the way.
In playing Diablo 2.
And the reason why they're doing that is so that like a lot of the backlog of container carrying vessels can come into the ports. But the problem is what's going to happen with overtime pay, hazard pay, a lot of things in situations like this. A lot of workers get fucking abused. Okay. I personally do not give a fuck about not getting my treats on time or whether there's my desk or not. Obviously there's like life-saving medication and shit too. Which should get priority. But ultimately, you know, this has caused a shortage in like a lot of the larger items specifically. Like, you know, couches, whatnot, beds, things like that aren't domestically manufactured. Perhaps we should have a little bit more domestic manufacturing. That could possibly be a good thing. Who knows? As far as everything else goes, you know, these guys currently, the stevedores, longshoremen. What is this? Did you ever see this hilarious clip about you? No. Stevedores, longshoremen, truck drivers, and delivery drivers currently have a profound amount of power. Okay? A profound amount of power. I'm not going to look at this clip right now, man. I'm just like, I'm in the middle of something. And if they are overworked and overstressed, this is an opportunity for them to unionize, strike for better fucking workplace conditions, and all that good stuff. So, if anything shows how easily workers can topple the system by not working. By the way, for the record, I mean, not to use this as an opportunity to plug my merch, but my merchandise is domestically manufactured. Everything is done in the United States of America, baby. Good old US of A. Union labor. Unionized labor. So when my shit comes around, and it's going to come around soon, we're going to launch it really soon, okay? You will be able to get it on a simple 8-week runway exclusively, because the 8-week runway is because it's the first ever campaign. So they're like, what is it called? It's like you pre-order it and then they make enough for the orders. But if it wasn't like that, if they like just blasted it out because they knew exactly how many people would purchase, normally you could get it immediately.
Wow, Idadio.
New merch or the restock? No, all new merch. All new merch, baby. All new merch. That's even worse for you. What?
Pog hassle.
100% sourced in the US. Yes. Yes. It's fucking all United States. Profits are going to the strike funds. One of the merchandise, one of the shirts is going to be the unionized tee. That one will have all profits on my end, and hopefully all profits if I can get the company that like does all the work for me on the back end to agree to it. At least on that product, I hope all my profits and their profits together will go to strike funds that we pick. So, yeah.
9. Let's go.
It will ship internationally as well. Are you going to use the proceeds to get the Lamborghini you deserve? Yes. Port operators in America are basically unionized. You are usually grandfathered in. Getting a job isn't easy. They're generally paid. They're actually paid handsomely, and most of the time they're actually overpaid for their work. The stevedores are contracted out and usually have weird contract requirements. Example, they contracted an 8-hour bid. So if they take 17 hours to load, unload a vessel, they get paid for 24 hours. Source, this is my job.
I don't know if you already do this, but it would be cool if each union involved with making the merch had its symbol put on it. Hasan merch with union symbol on the sleeve would be pretty dope. I don't know if they'd be down to. #brand risk PayPal.
We are not doing that,
20.
but that does seem like a good idea, but I can't fucking literally change that last second, you know what I mean? It's a cute idea though. I like it. Maybe on the next one.
6 months has Poggies, take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars, place your head on my beating heart.
Anyway, I buy Christmas gifts during the summer. Respect my game. I'll wear a union shirt to an Amazon fulfillment center. Okay, well, don't get fucking fired, brother.
Hassle.
Okay, no, he said the unionized dock workers are overpaid. I don't think he's saying the stevedores are. Well, I guess he technically is. He's saying how the stevedores cheat.
Here's some more Bezos money to pay off the Porsche loan.
Anyway, let's watch.
While our Weijia Zhang is at the White House for us, covering all of it. Weijia, hope you started shopping early. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Tony, and good morning to everybody. The administration just announced that several of the companies President Biden is meeting with today, like UPS and FedEx, will be moving to 24/7 operations to try to clear up some of that congestion. And 2 ports in California that handle 40% of the country's cargo containers will also open around the clock. But some supply chain experts worry that still won't be enough to get things moving.
Shipping delays will result in empty shelves.
Carly McGinnis is the COO of a California-based toy company struggling to fulfill some orders because their products are trapped in the port of Long Beach. McGinnis's team considered taking drastic measures to retrieve them.
Chartering a helicopter to come and try to pull the container out of the shipyard. We also debated renting a U-Haul to unload it ourselves.
Thousands of containers are stuck because the ships transporting them have nowhere to go.
It's like taking 10 lanes of freeway traffic and squeezing them into 5.
Ports across the country are dealing with similar bottlenecks. In March 2020, COVID restrictions caused ports to cut capacity. As the economy rebounds, there's more stuff to import. But on the ground, trucks can't move it fast enough, due in part to a driver shortage. The Biden administration is working with states to speed up the process to get trucking licenses out faster. Ryan Peterson, who runs a tech company for global logistics, says the help can't come soon enough.
How difficult is it to build a new port? Dude, this is not, and I say this with my entire chest, communist China. Do you know how long it would take to fucking facilitate a contract, take the resources and time to even figure out where, engage in the act of purchasing the land? It would take at least like 20 years, okay? It would take like 15 fucking years if we accelerated the process. You literally cannot do that. You cannot just like build a port. Unless it's China. China would be able to build a port in 1 year.
9 months.
No
Time for
joke.
you to notice
They would just
my
be like,
messages
this is
from
our
the
land now. Thank you for cooperation. And then they would be like, they would throw humans at the problem and be like, build the fucking port right now. And then they would drone, they would literally drone shoot it the entire time so they can fucking flex on the timeline too. They'd be like, hey, look at us. We just built a new port in a year, okay? Welcome.
I used to
They
listen
built
to
one here in
Alex
Pakistan in
Jones'
like 2 years
mobile
legit.
jammies,
Yeah,
mobile
they
jammies,
fucking...
mobile jammies.
Yeah, they built 12 hospitals in 3 months at the start of COVID. Do you guys remember the drone footage of them just like literally building hospitals? Like in a matter of 7 fucking days, dude. They were just like, come in, open up the land, put the hospital down and be like, all right, we're done here. All right, let's move on to the next city. It was fucking insane. Article on the dev truck sensor shortage. It's not a shortage of truck drivers. We're sending truck drivers home because we have trucks down.
Thanks for
Yeah, Selena fucking Gomez, I think is my only, like, either related to a truck driver or literally is a truck driver, but also a Selena Gomez fan. I'm very interested to find out what this person's background is because they've been talking about the def sensor shortage for like a day now, like a whole ass day. And I love that. Like, I love what's going on here. You know what I mean?
Hey, chatter girl just told me I look like a
Like, I need to understand if you're like related to a truck driver or lmao. I'm a truck driver too. Yeah, no wonder I got fucking long ass community subs in here. Truck drivers are caked, dude. They are fucking caked up, as we talked about yesterday. I'm just imagining a truck driver I work for a construction company. We have 4 trucks that have been down for over a month.
6 months,
I have more
like
questions.
We should move in together and radicalize the children's.
So you work for a construction company, but you're like a Selena Gomez stan? I love that. Like, so what? Yeah. Are you working on the fucking... Are you working out, wearing a hard hat, jamming out the Selena fucking Gomez, you know? You're like, I don't really appreciate the OSHA regulations around not wearing my fucking AirPods in the workplace when I'm, you know, operating tools and shit, using like saws and whatnot, because I want to fucking jam out to my goddamn Selena Gomez, you know? I love that. My name comes from CS16. We all had names like this. Back then it was Britney fucking Spears. Yeah, sure, buddy. Selena Gomez, music transcends socioeconomic lines, you uncultured swine. True. By the way, truckers can and should be socialist. It's heavily, especially in the heavily unionized parts of the trucking sector, they are very well paid. They're also at the fucking heart of like the labor union movement, and especially in like the past couple of decades.
The material and parts get
fucking
delivered
Teamsters,
to a factory, so we can manufacture things and manufacture them here. How we move things. How a finished product moves from a factory to a store to your home. And today we have an important announcement that will get things you buy to the shelves faster. I'm joined by the executive director of the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, Gene Soroka, and Mario Cordono. I apologize, Mario. And the president of the International Longshoremen's Union, Willie Adams. Los Angeles and Long Beach are home to 2 of the largest ports in America.
It's like 70%, isn't
these
it?
ports are among the largest in the world. And the best way to make that point is that 40% of shipping containers that we import into this country come through these 2 ports. And today we have some good news. We're going to help speed up the delivery of goods all across America. After weeks of negotiation and working with my team and with the major union retailers and freight movers, the Port of Los Angeles announced today that it's going to begin operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This follows the Port of Long Beach's commitment to 24/7 that it announced just weeks ago. 24/7 system, what most of the leading countries in the world already operate on now, except us, until now. This is the first key step toward moving our entire freight, transportation, and logistical supply chain nationwide to a 24/7 system. And here's why it matters. Traditionally, our ports have only been open during the week, Monday through Friday, and they're generally closed down at nights and on weekends. By staying open 7 days a week through the night and on the weekends, the Port of Los Angeles will open over 60 extra hours a week will be open. In total, that will almost double the number of hours that the port is open for business from earlier this year. That means an increase in the hours for workers to be moving cargo off ships onto trucks and rail cars to get to their destination. And more than that, the night hours are critical for increasing the movement of goods because highways are less crowded at night. In fact, during off-peak hours in Los Angeles, cargo leaves the port at a 25% faster pace than during the day shift. So by increasing the number of late-night hours of operation and opening up for less crowded hours when the goods can move faster, today's announcement has the potential to be a game changer. I say potential because all of these goods won't move by themselves.
Biden looks like he's up 24/7, dude. What is going on? They roll him off the adrenochrome schedule for like a little bit, and he just looks like absolute death right now.
The goods and the freight movers who take the goods from the ships to factories and to stores to step up as well. These private sector companies are the ones that hire the trucks and rail cars and move the goods. On this score, we have some good news to report as well. Today, Walmart, our nation's largest retailer, is committing to go all in on moving its products 24/7 from the ports to their stores nationwide. Specifically, Walmart is committing as much as a 50% increase in the use of off-peak hours over the next several weeks. Additionally, FedEx and UPS, two of our nation's biggest freight movers, are committing today to significantly increase the amount of goods they're moving at night. FedEx and UPS are the shippers for some of our nation's largest stores, but they also ship for tens of thousands of small businesses all across America. Their commitment to go all in on 24/7 operations means that businesses of all sizes will get their goods on shelves faster and more reliably. Accordingly, according to one estimate, together, FedEx and UPS alone move up to 40% of packages in America, up to 40%. And other companies are stepping up as well. They include Target, Home Depot, and Samsung, that have all committed to ramp up their activities to utilize off-peak hours at the ports. So, the commitments being made today are a sign of major progress in moving goods from manufacturers to a store or to your front door. I want to thank my Supply Chain Disruption Task Force, which we set up in June, led by Secretaries Buttigieg, Raimondo, and Vilsack, and by my Director of National Economic Council, Brian Deese. I want to thank them for their leadership. And I especially want to thank Joe Porcari. I think Joe's done one heck of a job, my special envoy specifically on ports, who's been working this issue with all the stakeholders for the past several weeks. I also want to thank the port directors. I want to thank Gene and Mario again, and the mayors of Los Angeles and Long Beach, Mayor Garcetti and Mayor Garcia, for their leadership. And I think the private companies that are stepping up, I want to thank them, but I particularly want to thank labor. Willie Adams of the Longshoremen and Warehouses Union, who is here today, the Teamsters, the rail unions from the Brotherhood of Railroad Signalmen, and the International Association of Machinists, to the American Train Dispatchers Association, to Sheet Metal, Air and Rail, and Transportation Workers Union, known as SMART. I want to be clear. This is across-the-board commitment to going to 24/7. This is a big first step in speeding up the movement of materials and goods through our supply chain. But now we need the rest of the private sector chain to step up as well. This is not called a supply chain for nothing. This means that terminal operators, railways, trucking companies, shippers, and other retailers as well. Strengthening our supply chain will continue to be my team's focus. If federal support is needed, I will direct all appropriate action. And if the private sector doesn't step up, we're going to call them out and ask them to act. Because our goal is not only to get through this immediate
6
bottleneck,
months, Pog.
but to address the long
Bro, if they don't,
in our transportation
the people who
supply
are
chain
saying, why is
this
Biden
pandemic
stepping
has
up to
exposed.
fix this?
I might add,
This is a
transparency is one of the
gigantic, if
reasons
not the
why
most
I think it's very important that we get
important problem
the, infrastructure plan
he's facing.
passed.
Inflation, prices skyrocket, people can't
That
get their
supply
goods
chain
that they
system
paid
is almost
for.
entirely in the hands of
America
private
will
business.
fucking lose their
The world
shit,
has
dude. Are you
changed.
kidding me? They will lose their minds.
Prior to the
Everything
crisis,
falls apart when you can't get your $5 jalapeno poppers. How many times do I have to stress this
lean,
point?
efficient supply chains, leaving no buffer or margin for error when it comes to certain parts arriving just in time is needed to make a final product. And our administration, Barack and ours, that's where it was just in time was the focus. We didn't have a pandemic and other things at the time. We need to take a longer view, though, that invest in building greater resilience to withstand the kinds of shocks we've seen over and over, year in and year out, whether it's the pandemic, extreme weather, climate change, cyber attacks, or other disruptions. In fact, research tells us that a company can expect to lose over 40% of 1 year's earnings every 10 years due to supply chain disruptions. A longer-term view means we invest in systems that have more time built in and our ability to produce, innovate, and partner with our allies. It also means companies throughout the supply chain, like maritime, air freight, and trucking companies, reduce their carbon emissions and help to meet our climate change goals. It also means creating and supporting good-paying jobs so folks want to stay in these jobs, so they can build the skills and careers and to make a decent living. It means more opportunities to join a union, especially for truckers. These steps are critical. They allow companies to pivot quickly when a disruption hits because they've invested in their workers' skills, and training up front to be able to adapt. We need to invest in making more of our products right here in the United States. Never again should our country and our economy be unable to make critical products we need because we don't have access to materials to make that product. Never again should we have to rely too heavily on one company or one country or one person in the world, particularly when countries don't share our values when it comes to labor and environmental standards. I've said before,
America, a beacon of labor values.
We are America. We still have the most productive workers and the most innovative minds in the world. But the rest of the world is closing in, and we risk losing our edge if we don't step up. In order to be globally competitive.
When I think of a country deeply, deeply involved in improving the conditions for the working class, I think of the United States of America, a country with a 10% unionization rate that still doesn't have maternal leave by default, federally mandated. You know, that sort of stuff.
Infrastructure and our people. With my infrastructure bill and my Build Back Better Act. These bills would transform our ports. There's billions of dollars for ports, highways, rail systems that sorely need upgrading and would bring products faster and more efficiently from the factories to the store to your house. Let me be clear. We're proposing to make the biggest investment in ports in our history. The bill would also make investments in our supply chains and manufacturing and strengthening our ability to make more goods from the beginning to end right here in America. The bottom line, we've seen the cost of inaction in the pandemic, in the delays, and the congestion that affect every American. But it's fully within our capacity to act to make sure it never happens again. It's going to take a little time. And that we've unlocked the full might and dynamism of our economy and our people.
For the population explosion.
That's what we're going to do.
Chain, let's go.
God bless you all, and may God bless the longshoremen, rail workers, truckers, and all the workers who are keeping our economy going. May God protect our troops. Thank you all so very much.
Can you tell parents that going to do to lower gasoline prices? You can talk about worker safety, of course.
Okay. God bless our troops, the fucking stevedores and the longshoremen, dude. I'm still missing something though. Why are we having this bottleneck now? Is it because the production is ramping up after the pandemic? I'm low-key confused. Can you explain how shit just becomes an issue because my immediate reaction is just drive the boat, lol? Okay, but like, there are a ton of goods on that boat. How are you gonna fucking drop it in there? You know, it's not as easy as like top of the hour ad breaks where I just say, hey, it's top of the fucking hour every hour. There's time for a 6-second ad break. And like the avoidance in that situation is easy too. Like in order to avoid those ads at the top of the hour, this is the first one of the day. All you need to do is subscribe for $5 a month or for free with a Twitch Prime if you have one and you haven't used one yet. You can literally fucking avoid the ads. Or if you don't want to subscribe, you're like, fuck this guy. Well, then you can also use an ad block or a VPN.
Keep it up.
But Twitch Prime is free if you have stolen someone else's, like your wife's boyfriend's Amazon Prime account and connected to your Twitch account. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the ad break now. It's been a problem. I was a truck mechanic for the last 4 years and work slowed way down when COVID hit. Yeah.
Complex system where you see the same input leading to longer and longer delays. That is a very worrying sign that things are getting worse and worse and worse.
And with less supply on the shelves, prices are surging. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen spoke with CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Norah O'Donnell.
Is the economy unjust and we get the pandemic under control, these pressures will mitigate and I believe we'll go back to normal levels.
Of course, one big question is how is all of this going to impact the holiday shopping season? Now, some companies had the foresight to start bringing things in early, but others that are waiting for inventory cannot guarantee an arrival date. So Ryan Peterson, who we just heard from, says to start shopping now. Nate?
Someone just pointed this out, but holy fuck, dude. Gary V. Remember, chat, when we looked at Gary V., like a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, I'm going out and I'm going to every garage sale and I'm buying these dinos for like $1. Guess what? It's like $17 on eBay. That's pure profit, baby. And we laughed at him. We laughed at him because, like, you know, he was probably coming off the heels of like imagining that his fucking family had been murdered. You know what I mean? Turns out he was fucking right, dude. He was right. We laughed at him and he was fucking right, dude. Maybe I should start imagining that, like, my entire family has been ruthlessly and brutally murdered or something. I know now what it's like to be poor. Slammed into the intro ad, immediately slammed by the top of the hour ad. Oh, shit. Wait, you're subscribed. Why the fuck would you see the intro ad or the top of the hour ad? Guys, we got another problem, though. In the treat economy, going forward, the pumpkin shortage is causing rising prices in parts of the U.S.
Pumpkin panic. It could be harder than ever to find pumpkins this year. Janae Norman has more on how to make sure you don't miss out before Halloween. She's live from a pumpkin patch. She's there in New Jersey. Good morning, Janae. Love the flannel. Nice touch.
Robin, it is autumn.
Why is she laughing like that? Dude, this is the thing I don't understand about newscasters. Like, it's not that funny. She just says she loves the flannel. Why are you laughing?
I've got my flannel and my vest. I belong on a pumpkin patch. I'm surrounded by them out here, but in some parts of the country, these are harder to find these days. And because of things like COVID.
Dude, a pumpkin shortage is literally like the least concerning, dumbest thing you could ever fucking worry about. Like, I'm sorry. It's just like, yeah, you can't have fun this year, okay? No pumpkin fun. I got pumpkins last week, $25 for as many as you can carry.
And blight and weather. These gourds are getting harder to find. The owners of this farm in New Jersey say they'll be fine. They just won't have the extras like.
This is a war against white women, dude. White girls specifically. That's right. I said it. Joe Biden needs to fix this shortage right now.
Usual. They're the harbingers of Halloween, the ghoulish gourds, the elusive icon of Charlie Brown and Linus's All Hallows Eve.
Oh, great pumpkin, where are you?
But this year, in some parts of the country, some pumpkins are proving hard to find.
Certain areas just have had bad years with crops.
Annette Jackson, co-owner of Jackson's Greenhouses and Garden Center in Topeka, Kansas, says getting these gourds has been tough this year compared to years past.
We felt kind of fortunate to get these. Then when we found that there was a problem in other areas.
Pumpkins are big business. In 2020, farmers harvested more than 1 billion pounds of pumpkins in just 6 states, and nearly half of Americans surveyed this year planned to carve a pumpkin. In Lafayette, California, Marty Martinez has been buying pumpkins for his nursery for 25 years, telling KGO at the end of September some prices were soaring.
In some cases, it's almost doubled, especially in the specialty white ones that are very hard to come by.
Experts say a number of issues are to blame. The pandemic, a lack of workers, and shipping delays all contributing to the smaller supply this year. And some farms that had to lay off workers are simply no longer around.
A lot of the patches just went out of business. They gave up.
Plus, droughts in some parts of California causing a loss in pumpkin production. Pumpkin production.
Oh, 22.
Probably 10 acres, we only did half this year.
But pumpkin lovers have no fear. In many areas, the pumpkins are plentiful, but you might just be haunted by the prices. And in
my favorite type of coverage is like when they add puns into it. Areas not impacted by the pumpkin shortage might be pumping out production. These prices are gonna carve a hole in your wallet. You know, that sort of thing. Scarier than a jack-o'-lantern. American news. And that's a gourd thing. Back to you, Hasan. Oh my God, that's so bad.
Illinois, which grows an estimated 80 to 90% of pumpkins around the country, they are dealing with a fungus that causes pumpkins to prematurely rot, leading to concerns about a shortage of regular pumpkins, but also canned pumpkins, if you're looking for that in the next month, Robin.
But wait, there's more. We're hearing there's a possible Christmas tree shortage this year too, Janae.
Oh, fuck no, dude. That's where I draw the goddamn line. Okay, fuck it, dude. This is a true war on Christmas. That's right. Me and the Mujahideen. Me and the Mujah boys. You know what I'm saying? We did it. We did it, boys. We won the war on Christmas. Yeah, fuck you, Christians. Get fucked. You want a Christmas tree? Fuck off. Just kidding. I actually love Christmas. I love all the mass consumption holidays. I'm a disgusting hedonist. You know this. Damn, dude. White women are literally under attack, dude.
Robin, the hits just keep on coming. Yeah, this goes back to the Great Recession, and the trees in the ground now, a Wisconsin tree grower tells us that those trees are just too small.
I have a quick question. Why in the ever-loving fuck would I watch an Alex Jones false COVID documentary and take an hour off and think about that instead of spamming that link over and over again?
And there aren't enough.
It's literally from band.video.
Fake trees coming from China because of chain supply distribution issues. So a lot of not good news out there. So get your pumpkins and your trees early.
Yeah, we'll do that. You're looking right at home there. I was going to say on the farm, but in the patch.
Robin, the good news, though, is that pumpkin spice is everywhere.
Everywhere. That's true. That's true. Be safe. Take care. Thank you, Janae. Well, hey there, GMA fans.
So strange, dude. What will white women do on Instagram? The 5 are slamming the supply chain handling, saying we are in a danger zone. I do agree, by the way.
President
And
Biden.
I love this. I love the coverage from, oh my God, what is this, like 10p? What the fuck is this quality?
Facing a nightmare.
I love this because it's like, this is the audience that would be most impacted by it. You know what I mean? The petite bourgeois, the small business tyrants. These are the motherfuckers who are going to be most impacted by this. Because, like, if you're a consumer and you work every day and you're like, man, I want a nice treat for myself, but yeah, whatever, it's not coming in on time, that's one thing. But the real people impacted by this are going to be the small business owners who are like, oh no, one, we can't deliver the fucking treats on time to the other treat boys. And two, they themselves want like their nice purchases and they can't get it, and that's fucked up. It's like, dude, if there is a God, okay, or if there is some sort of like karmic justice, they're a fucking asshole, okay? It's not lined up in favor of the good, okay? Good things are not happening. It's just bad things that are happening, okay? No good things, only bad things. And what I mean by that is because, like, just everything is stacked up against, everything is stacked in favor of Donald Trump. Stacked in favor of Donald Trump getting reelected.
Nightmare come Christmas time. Thanks to rising inflation and a supply crisis, gifts are going to cost you a fortune. And that's even if you're lucky enough to snag anything, thanks to massive delays rocking the supply chain. Store shelves are looking pretty empty as U.S. ports struggle to unload deliveries. And get this, major retailers are actually being forced to charter their own ships. And on top of all of that, Biden's massive spending plans are set to make things 100 times worse. He's set to address the supply crisis tomorrow, he says. And Jen Psaki was pressed on why the president isn't being more forceful with the unions to loosen work restrictions that would ease the flow of goods.
We have taken steps at times, when warranted, to loosen restrictions, as you saw in reaction to some natural disasters we've had over the course of the year. Ultimately, the president's focus is addressing the needs, the challenges, and the threats to the American people to their well-being, to their economic well-being, and he'll consider a range of options. But again, the Supply Chain Task Force has been working for months to address these issues.
The task force. And where's Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg? He hasn't been to a White House briefing since this whole crisis started. And when he manages to get in front of a camera, he doesn't say much.
We do believe there's a role for the federal government to play to help smooth out some of these supply chain issues. It's largely a private sector system. We are funding, of course, as a department, a lot of work on the rails, on the roads, and supporting trucking, which is also a
Oh, dude, if there's any sweet victory, it's that Biden, that old fuck, who still has a little bit of spunk in him. You know what I mean? Like old conniving, old school conniving politician spunk in him, shifts the blame in its entirety onto Pete Buttigieg, front loads all of that to him, and just destroys any fucking chance that Pete has at like winning the Democratic nomination. Oh fuck, that would be so good. He just he put Kamala in charge of the border, okay? And now everyone's yelling about like, why is Kamala not at the border? And now this shit's popping off. If he just turns around and he's just like, come on, Jack, I put the young guy on it. You know, the gay one. Figure it out, Buttigieg. Oh, Jesus Christ. Cut the malarkey, I said. And then everybody's just like yelling at him for not being able to get a fucking PS5 or whatever. Oh, that'd be so sick. That would be so excellent, dude. It's like, oh.
Big issue. We've got some real challenges on the labor side with the turnover of truck drivers that can make it harder to get goods to where they need to go. Some of this is a bigger picture, longer term issue that's going to take years and years to address.
Years and years to address, Dana. Kind of a laid-back attitude from the administration.
Is there like no urgency for anything?
No.
Like why we just feel so much urgency during the campaign?
The treats. Is there no urgency for this? I mean, they are speaking to their audience perfectly, by the way. This is literally like the best. This is commentary that fits perfectly within the realm of whatever the fuck Fox News watchers want. They want to know when their fucking, jalapenos are coming. The jalapeno
President
poppers.
during the primary campaign. Joe Biden said about Mayor Pete that he's so inexperienced that while Joe Biden's been in Washington all this time, he's only been putting twinkly lights under a bridge. I mean, that was how insulting he was to him. And now you have somebody who was literally in charge of the ports and the airlines. And he's like, yeah, I'm hanging out with AOC at the dog park. Yesterday, he tweeted about Indigenous Peoples Day. And you think, again, I mentioned this yesterday about Kamala Harris. Like, you are in these positions of power. You're in a position to do something, or at least.
Yeah, why is the big government not commanding the private sector? Love it. I'm on board. Let's do it. Hey, that's socialism. You can clip that and be like, oh my God, socialism is when big government commands the private sector, blah, 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 and then fucking cry about it for hours, okay? By the way, the original person who fucking quoted me when I was like fucking memeing about Austin saying that stadiums are capitalism is a fan. Like, I knew that already. I was talking about an entire separate group of people who like latched onto it to fucking be like, oh, this guy's so stupid, dude. Anyway. Are they really complaining about how the government is not big enough? Yeah, I fucking don't get it, dude. I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of strange. Kind of seems like they want some good old wholesome big government interference there.
Let people know we care, because
That was weeks ago, though. I know, but it doesn't fucking matter. People are like losing their minds all the time.
Nothing says return to normal like a shortage of toilet paper, which is what we're about to see. And we are getting into this crisis of confidence danger zone. When little Jesse Jr. can't get his Christmas presents, that's going to be bad.
Oh, no.
That will be bad, and he will not be happy about it. However, I think there's another thing here. It's beyond people not getting Christmas presents. Think of all the companies and the people who do seasonal holiday work, right? Where they're helping ship things out and get things on the stores. All those companies that hire people for the holidays, there will be no need to do that.
You're an elf.
And what's the ripple effect?
You're an elf at the mall.
I know. You and I have so much fun doing that.
Great.
I know.
Though Santa's always drunk.
And we do it for free.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, Greg, was it 2 months ago, Joe Biden came out and said, our experts believe, this is a quote, that these bottlenecks and price spikes will reduce as our company continues to heal. That was 2 months ago.
First, I got to point out that the best part about the story is that there's a backlog of toilet paper. The worst thing to have when there's no TP is a backlog. So, yeah.
Great, dude. Most popular. This is the king of late night, by the way. Love that. Absolutely love that.
Thank you.
That's about the best joke he's told this season.
Really? You haven't been here.
If you combine,
also true.
so what we're seeing right now is we're combining inflation with scarcity. This is a new thing. So we're finally getting the dystopia that the media said Trump was going to bring us, except it's old Joe who's bringing us Soylent Green and bringing us to the Thunderdome that Trump didn't. I think our political leaders, while you're not sensing the urgencies, don't mind these problems. They don't mind that you pay more for gas because you drive less, right? Yeah. And the fact that you have less money in the bank means you have to rely on them. So it becomes more of a government state. So there's no urgency. Their kids are going to get the gifts that your kids aren't going to get because that's why they're in politics, to be exempt from the scarcity that we have to deal with. Remember the...
What? Wait, one, who was the president when we ran out of toilet paper? And two, politicians got into politics so they can get the fucking So they could get the treats before everybody else? What? I'm getting in the pause to get my friend a PS5 for Christmas. Please vote for me. The First Amendment was a fucking mistake. Yeah, every day I get closer and closer to a Chinese-style authoritarian grip on what the press can and can't say. The more I watch Fox News, the more I'm like, maybe we should jail fucking pundits. Of course, in a situation like the United States of America, the first pundit that was going to jail would be me, and not these fucking reactionary weirdos, but, you know, I just dream away, I guess. But, like, holy fuck, dude.
Politicians in power did nothing about crime because it didn't affect them, and they still haven't. They preached total lockdowns because they were exempt from the total lockdowns. We need to abandon the idea that these people in power actually give a damn about us. The only way you're going to get any urgency out of them is if they get scared.
I mean, he's not wrong. The people in power don't give a fuck about us, right? And I agree, right? But also, like, but you're like an advocate for the Republican Party regularly. So what the fuck does that mean? Like, these guys never criticize Republicans, like, ever. At least I criticize the Democratic Party all the time. Probably more than I fucking ever give them props for doing the right thing. Also, you guys are all like multi-millionaires. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, oh, we're not going to be able to cut the line. What the fuck is that? Listen, motherfucker. You and I, we can make do without the treats, okay? Let's talk. King of late night comedy, Greg Gutfeld. King of late night Twitch streams or daily Twitch streams, HasanAbi, okay? Let's talk mano y mano. What is this, like, politicians are doing this so they can cut the line and get the treats? Good old fake populism went out of power from right-wingers. I mean, they did that hand to hand. Is that what mano y mano means? I thought it was fucking man to man. Anyway.
Greg's point, yes, they're not going to be affected by the rise in prices, Dagan, but it's also a PR thing for them. They don't want to appear that anything is a crisis. Right. They want to appear that they have everything under control, and this is just a smooth recovery, and that's not sitting well with the American people who are actually affected by this.
Right, they're trying to remain calm. Instead, they come across...
How can you claim to be an LA guy and not know basic Spanish? Motherfucker, I'm fluent in a different language. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Sorry that my fucking proficiency and my first language is Turkish. My bad. A country that is like incredibly far removed from Latin America. Like, I just didn't fucking learn Spanish.
As uncaring asses.
Right.
This is what happens when people in power act according to their ideology and don't act according to basic economic fundamentals. Everything described here in terms of the supply chain problems, the labor shortages, the spike in inflation is a self-inflicted wound by the Biden administration. It's intentional, and even if it wasn't directly related to some of the recovery from the pandemic, it is certainly exacerbating all the troubles. One, you don't pay people to stay at home. So you have the labor shortage, almost 10.5 million.
Like, what were they supposed... First of all, Donald Trump did that. And I praise the fucking administration for doing that, even though they low-key had to do that. And also, what was the counter? Were they supposed to get fucking murdered? Like, what kind of take is this, bro? What is this? Some motherfuckers' jobs isn't just to sit in front of a camera and be like, man, this sucks, get back to work, you slaves. Okay? And I say this as a fucking Twitch streamer, okay? So that's the difference between someone like this fucking evil villain-looking Andy over here and someone like myself, okay? It's so wild. Like, these ghouls, they're literally like, Why are the workers getting paid to survive and exist when they can't work? Nuts, dude. And they never asked that same question to, like, why are small businesses being kept afloat by the government? Where did the fucking PPP loans go to? How many of these businesses were prosecuted for misusing the funds that they got, the loans that they got from the government? You know?
Jobs still open. There are 3 million people who have completely left the labor force. But then you pay people extra, say unemployment that started earlier this year, it just expired, but you don't juice demand while supplies are tight. And this task force they're talking about, because that creates inflation, this task force is ludicrous because we've known since at least beginning of this year that the ships coming in were going to be a huge headache. That's when the big retailers started worrying about it. In terms of energy prices, this again is intentional. You cancel the Keystone XL pipeline, you cancel all new permits for drilling on federal land, and then you, in a crisis, beg OPEC to pump more, which does nothing to fight global warming. And you know who gets screwed in all of this? The small businesses. They don't have inventory, and they have nothing to sell to raise revenue. They can't even pay. A woman burst into tears here in New York City. They're not going to get inventory, rug inventory, until next year. They might not make it through the holiday season because they can't pay their rent.
Your thoughts, Geraldo?
Well, I think that you're putting way too much blame on Joe Biden. Not that that is surprising. I understand that he's an easy target, but we've lived through the most disruptive health crisis in a century. We've lost 700,000 Americans. It is not surprising that not just Joe Biden, but the owner and the guy who runs Walmart and all the Target and all the other big stores, Amazon, they didn't anticipate this phenomenon either. He had all these people getting all this money. Here's $1,400 check.
Wait a second. Dagan just said they did anticipate it, and that was months and months ago.
Who's they that they anticipated?
All
what
the big
did they
retailers.
Anticipate? Listen, if you have a ship and you order the...
It's fucking bullshit. This notion that, like, people were anticipating this and, like, seeing that it was going to be this bad. I mean, sure, people thought there were going to be bottlenecks. But the problem is that, like, no one knew it was going to be this bad until recently when it started becoming a serious fucking problem. And ultimately... The guys, he only gets paid $100K per language he speaks. That's why he makes $700K a month. Oh, because he speaks Papagan too, which is like 3 languages at once. Do they have this guy in the audience? Yeah, exactly. He is the villain. He is the villain type here. He's the voice of reason, unfortunately. Anyway,
product in January and it gets there in March. Don't order it in March, the 2 weeks before you need it, because you're trying to save money, spending money on inventory. I think it's really cruel. Let me just give you a personal story quickly. My youngest just turned 16. As I did with all of my children, I got her a car. Well, I got her a Mini. Okay. And I got her older sister and the oldest sister, they all got Minis.
Flex.
I sat down. It was great celebration. Oh, Sol, you're 16. You passed your driver's test. Isn't this great? The car's going to be delivered in 4 months.
Nah.
I mean, it's like crazy, but these people...
You are truly suffering, Geraldo.
And
your brand new car is delayed by 4 months.
Oh, listen to the populist.
This cold winter without your Mini.
Listen to the populist, who lives in his mansion in Greenwich Village.
I wish.
My point is that this is a cascading problem where plenty of people are responsible and didn't anticipate.
But Geraldo, this is the President of the United States. He says the buck stops with him.
What if it was Trump?
Everybody knew this was coming months before, and now he has a task force. Okay?
But he had one
the task
in February
force hasn't
too.
done anything.
They had a commission in February, and they reported in June, the Biden administration, on the supply chain issues. And one of the things they said is, you know what we need? More green energy.
Oh, it's always green energy. It's always the answer to
They
everything.
like the high gas prices because it forces people to use green energy that doesn't make any economic sense unless
Wait,
gas
what?
is at $3.
What the fuck does that even mean? Green energy isn't even fucking green at the moment. Like, what does that even mean? Like, they like high gas prices? Like, why? What the? No, nobody likes that. Like, that's literally not how this works, man. What the fuck? I feel like she's just saying shit. High gas prices impact every part of the economy. Okay? We work on the petrodollar. It is a significant source of revenue, and it impacts every sector. Like, it's not like trucks are fucking running on green energy, and even then it would be like, it's not like fleets are fucking running without gas, and even then it's still like, how do you charge those things? Nobody likes high gas prices. That's so fucking stupid. It's like, the thing that annoys me about this sort of stuff is that, like, they just fucking totally make shit up, right? And then your fucking parents believe it. That's the, like, they are literally making, they're literally making a living making your parents dumber than they originally were before listening to it.
50 cents a
And
gallon
we all
or 5.
pray for that mini to come as soon as possible.
Thank you. Jesse. Thank you.
The pandemic's growing impact on the workplace. 4.3 million Americans left their jobs in August alone. That's the highest number since 2000. Experts say workers are looking for better opportunities, better hours, and more perks. Trouble with childcare has also contributed to the employment across the country. All this as we are now seeing people leave the workplace due to the vaccine mandates. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for...
That was a 20-second clip. What the fuck was that?
Now to Amazon announcing a big change in its work-from-home policy for tech and corporate workers. This change could have a ripple effect in other corporations and industries. Rebecca Jarvis is back with the story. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, Michael, nice to see you. And this is a very significant change, both for employers overall as well as for Amazon. They are now saying you can work remotely indefinitely as long as you're able to commute to the office.
Yo, how the fuck are people gonna do that in the distribution facilities, though? You know what I'm saying? Hey, work from home, Amazon distribution facility people.
On occasion, and your team says it's okay. In a note to employees, CEO of Amazon writing that he's going to be leaving this up to the individual teams. The director manager on each team will have to make the call and say whether it works for their group. And this is a big change from what Amazon was saying just a few weeks ago when they were telling employees they would need to return to the office by January for 3 days a week. It's also a big competitive move on their part.
I mean, it's good for Amazon corporate, you know. Lol, clearly not for the distribution people. Yikes. That was a joke, man. I was joking. I understand. Oh, God. I can't tell if, like, I have a constantly growing community, so there's, like, a lot of people who are new, so they don't understand, like, the way I speak. Sometimes I have, like, a very straightforward tone when I say something in my delivery, and I'm clearly being sarcastic. Or maybe it's just because, like, people come in here horny as fuck to just be like, you are not allowed to be sarcastic ever. Socialism means no jokes. Sometimes your jokes don't land, and that's okay. Yeah, I mean, they don't.
There are so many tech companies and peers that have made flexible work more a part of the culture and the ethos. And with so many people now voluntarily leaving jobs at near record numbers and a record number, millions of them, of job openings, this makes Amazon more competitive with peers like Apple and Google and Microsoft, which have also adjusted their policies recently. But there is a ripple effect to these changes. You have the other types of businesses that surround these big corporations, the restaurants, the cafes, the gyms. Those get less foot traffic when you have businesses telling their employees they don't have to return to the office every day. So guys, there's that ripple effect on the local business ecosystem, and there's also the ripple effect on the competition who says, you know what? We might need more flexible work too. Guys?
It's a very big move.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Rebecca. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our
Dude.
To the coronavirus.
Back to Crystal Mommy Kyrie Irving, folks. Crystal Mommy Kyrie Irving. He won't be playing until he gets the COVID vaccine. Let's watch. Wait, let's check in with our boy, okay?
Over vaccines. The governor of Texas banning mandates in his state, and the Brooklyn Nets banning star guard Kyrie Irving from the team unless he gets vaccinated. Stephanie Ramos is live at the Nets home arena in Brooklyn. Good morning, Stephanie.
Robin, good morning. Many people here in New York are opting to walk away from their employer because they don't want to get the COVID vaccine. NBA star Kyrie Irving is now a part of that group. And with just 1 week to go until the start of the regular NBA season, it's unclear when he'll play at Barclays again.
Irving, oh, he's a machine!
This morning, the Brooklyn Nets losing one of their stars, NBA player Kyrie Irving. The Nets announcing Irving will not play or practice with the team until he gets the COVID vaccine.
Kyrie's made it clear that he has a choice in this matter, and it's ultimately going to be up to him what he decides. You know, we respect the fact that he has a choice.
The 7-time All-Star talking about his vaccination status a week and a half ago.
Honestly, I like to keep that stuff private. I would love to just keep that private.
I love that they're like, we respect the fact that he has a choice, you know, to not work in the fucking field, like to just to no longer be an NBA basketball player. Like that is the choice, which by the way, I'm fully in support of. Just get the fucking vaccine, dumbass. What's wrong with you? I mean, part of it is literally you're an asset, right? Like, this is a public health initiative, a public health measure, so I don't have an issue with it. But part of it is because he is an incredibly important asset in a multi-billion-dollar industry. He's a multi-million-dollar asset. And, of course, the company wants to protect the asset. Make sure that he's not, like, decommissioned because he got COVID. How can they tell if he's vaxxed? I also have the same feeling. Just get vaxxed. Wouldn't they be asking to break HIPAA laws? No.
And handle it the right way with my team.
The NBA does not have a vaccine mandate for players, but New York City's COVID vaccine mandate requires a person to prove they have at least one COVID vaccine shot to enter indoor gyms, including Barclays Center, the home of the Nets. Initially, Irving was going to sit out home games only, but the team deciding he would.
They said that Kyrie's upset that people are losing their jobs, not because he's anti-vax, but he's keeping it private for some reason. Bro, he's a literal fucking flat earther, okay? He's a flat earther. He's a crystal mommy. Like, he sages the court. I don't have a problem with any of that stuff because that stuff is innocent. But when you're literally openly fucking being like, yeah, I will throw away millions of dollars just to be the fucking hero of the anti-vaxxer movement, you're a complete dumbass. Like, the tangible impacts of taking such a brave and courageous stance against a public health measure, okay, is that other people are going to look to you and be like, yeah, that's actually great. People look up to him. People look up to him. He wants to be a voice for the voices for the dumbest shit. Be a voice for the voiceless for important shit instead. How about that? and not like the one instance where the government is actually fucking doing this, still in their own material interests, obviously, but looking out for the people in this way because it happens to align with restarting the economy and ensuring that like millions of people don't fucking die of a preventable disease that we have a fucking vaccine for. Mind-boggling stuff, I swear to God. Kyrie Irving being a flat earther isn't innocent because kids look up to him. That's silly. You're silly. I think everyone is allowed to have like dumbass fucking opinions on shit, as long as those dumbass opinions aren't like rooted within really fucking harmful and horrifyingly reactionary ideas like that tie back to white supremacist ideology. Now, people will say flat earthers have anti-Semitism at the heart of their conspiracies. And that is true, but you got to go many layers deep. Like the first layer is just, you know, you're fucking flat earth, you're anti-science, all that shit. It's whatever. It's like stupid. It's silly. You really got the burr slurps types ass. If you want me to give you some licks and dicks, call 911. I will tie your legs together so I can eat the burr. Dude, what the fuck? Yo. Why should we be okay with people being stupid? A lot of people are stupid. Everyone is stupid, especially when it comes to like a specific thing, you know what I mean? Like a conspiracy theory or something.
Wouldn't play at all.
We are going to have to for sure play without him this year.
According to the Washington Post, this can cost Irving more than $16 million in fines. And in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott signing an executive order banning all state entities requiring a COVID-19 vaccination from anyone who rejects it based on a religious belief or for medical reasons, including prior recovery from COVID. The governor adding, COVID-19 vaccines are strongly encouraged for those eligible to receive one, but must always be voluntary for Texans. Fort Worth-based American Airlines and Dallas-based Southwest Airlines refusing to follow the governor's order. Americans saying, we believe the federal vaccine mandate supersedes any conflicting state.
Bro, he's literally giving light to anti-Semitic rhetoric before, just FYI. Wait, really? Yeah. Well, you got to see the direct relationship between flat earth and anti-vax, right? Once you believe the global scientific community faked all rocket launches, you can believe anything. Genuine question from ignorance. Why would that differ from my body, my choice? Great question, especially if it's a genuine one. My body, my choice refers to what women can and can't do with respect to carrying a pregnancy to term. Pregnancies are, as far as we know, not communicable diseases. They're not contagious. However, COVID is, right? So in an effort to deal with a pandemic of a viral disease that spreads through your airways, okay, the best possible thing to do when there is a vaccine is to reach herd immunity as quickly as possible. Like, getting an abortion is not a contagious act. Getting COVID and spreading it and also suffering the worst consequences of COVID is. So my body, my choice, unfortunately, does not work when it comes to spreading COVID. Now, COVID is an airborne virus that has killed 700,000 plus in this country. Yeah, exactly. The slippery slope is real. In this case, I have a paper on this. What do you mean? The slippery slope of what? Abortions being contagious? Please explain yourself. They are harmful, Jesus. What? What are you saying? No, lol. Flat Earth or the anti-vax QAnon is a loop? How many exceptions? I can see that. Now, I don't even know if we will ever be able to reach herd immunity, for the record, especially with the Delta variant. I don't know if that's even a possibility. I don't know if that'll ever be a possibility in the United States of America, since we have so many hogs that refuse to get it, right? Even if we solved all the logistical hurdles. Having said that, though, even if herd immunity is now an impossibility, one thing that we are trying to do here is to not exhaust our already crippled hospital systems, specifically in urban areas where there are not a lot of hospitals and that hospitals can't meet the demand necessary to offer health care to every single individual that needs it in rural areas. Okay? That's a huge problem. So the vaccine, oh, did I say urban? I meant rural. Sorry. So herd immunity was never a possibility. That's not true. Herd immunity originally was a possibility. The problem is when you don't get the vaccine, you unfortunately can get COVID and then take up hospital space. Okay? And in a lot of these places, hospitals don't have space. No ICU capabilities, no nursing staff capabilities. We're just exhausting an entire generation of nurses and doctors for no particular good reason, other than the fact that people simply mistrust this vaccine as a consequence of misinformation kicked into overdrive by capitalist for-profit mediums that make a lot of money spreading that misinformation and serving you ads for it, i.e. Facebook. You work at the hospital? No, I do not. I am a Twitch streamer. But if your argument is that how can you know what goes on in a hospital if you don't work in one? Well, you know, I wasn't alive during World War II, but, you know, I've read a lot about it. So you don't really need to, you know, be in a hospital to know about things. There's such a concept called reading. You know, and that's one way. I also know nurses and doctors as well. Some of them in this community. I don't know why everybody's like hitting the F button in the chat right now. I don't know if the stream died for them or not, but my wife is a PA in a hospital and I can say the doctors and other staff are in fact getting burnt out at a rapid pace. Yeah. Anyway, so that's where we're at with Brooklyn Nets Kyrie Irving.
And this does not change anything for American. And Southwest adding, we would be expected to comply with the president's order to remain compliant as a federal contractor. Officials now turning their focus to vaccines for kids. The White House telling governors to be prepared to vaccinate elementary age kids in early November in anticipation of the FDA's green light.
As for the future of boosters, the FDA has reviewed Moderna's application for the extra dose, but they have not taken a position. Right now, there may not be sufficient data to support the extra doses. But the FDA is scheduled to meet this Thursday and Friday to talk about boosters for Moderna and Johnson & Johnson.
And Stephanie, who do we expect to be eligible for those booster shots?
Well, once those boosters are approved, Robin, the same group that is eligible to take Pfizer's third dose will be able to take these. So those who are 65 and older, immunocompromised, and those at higher risk of exposure to COVID. Robin.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. Well, hey there, GMA fans.
Not just hospitals, urgent care facilities are basically non-existent for walk-ins due to COVID testing there. We needed one and they told us to just go to the ER where there's 70 people in line and we had a visible broken limb. Yeah, it just like backs up everything. Our entire system is connected to one another. Just like supply chain problems on the dock side leads to massive problems on the ground. Like, every part of our society is organized in an incredibly lean capacity because of the profit motive, right? And we don't have any surplus of anything, well, except for food, which we dump out and throw out in an effort to maintain the pricing for food. But hospitals are no different in that because we have a for-profit healthcare system. So we simply do not have enough of a supply of fucking nurses or enough of a supply of ICU capabilities and whatnot. So in an instance where there are more people that need to be in an ICU, more people that need vents, more people that need care, medical care, immediate medical care, the system falls apart. Now, if you have a fucking broken limb, you're fucked because all the nurses are working on round the clock, working on motherfucking hogs that refuse to get the fucking vaccine. And now they're sitting there taking up all of the resources. It's really fucked up.
We're a year and a half into COVID.
Now we're going to talk about another teen who chooses arrest over wearing a mask at school. Almost as silly as choosing to watch the ad at the top of the hour instead of avoiding it. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. Now, if you want to avoid the ad when it comes at the top of the hour, all you need to do is subscribe. You can subscribe for $5, or you can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime if you have a Twitch Prime and you haven't used one yet, right? You can use it here. That's right. Another way to avoid the ads, though, if you don't want to subscribe, is by using an ad block or a VPN. But Twitch Prime is free as long as you have an Amazon Prime account that is connected to your Twitch account. Here's the ad break now.
And masks are still a hot.
So are you saying that COVID response would have been better under a nationalized system? No, because a nationalized system can still have bottlenecks. A nationalized system can still be exhausted to its, to the brink, especially if a nationalized system like the UK, for example, doesn't take the necessary preventative measures early on and says, we're going to take it on the fucking chinny, bruv. A recent study showed that in the United Kingdom, or in England, COVID measures, the early COVID measures, or rather lack thereof, actually led to many casualties that were preventable. So even if you have a nationalized healthcare system, you can still completely flub the original reaction and the original actions that you needed to take. And still end up with a lot of fucking casualties. Okay?
Button issue. This high school student ended up in handcuffs after she refused to wear a mask and then refused to leave the school when asked to do so.
She'd rather go to jail than wear a mask.
Oh, God. These stories are so whack because, like, the thing is, Felix was so fucking brilliant and so right. Biederman, not Lengyel, when he said, everyone wants to be an influencer nowadays. Like, this is the influencer economy, right? Everybody wants to sell t-shirts. And, like, it's such a easy way to just, like, become an influencer. Many people have just recognized that Fox News will offer you a broadcast. They will put you on. Your TikTok numbers will grow, and people just go off on this grift. Like, oh my God, look at me. I'm such a fucking hero. I'm going to get my not even 15 minutes of fame anymore. Now it's like 15 seconds of fame. I'm going to get that, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to get that, and hopefully I'll be able to, I don't know, make some fucking money off of it in the short term.
Today, I was arrested for not wearing a mask.
16-year-old Grace Smith refused to comply with...
Like, she literally has, like, she has her, you know, whole thing ready to go. You know what I mean? She has a speech prepared for it. Like, it's just so obvious what the fuck's going on here. If you don't understand it, I don't know what else to tell you, you know?
with her high school's mask mandate in Laramie, Wyoming, and was suspended. But she attempted to go to class anyway.
Can you please let me into class?
I can't unless you're gonna wear a mask.
She sat down on the floor and refused to move. Cops were called and Grace was arrested for trespassing.
So you're still refusing to leave?
Yes, sir.
Even after receiving your citation?
Yes, sir.
All right, then at this point I am going to place you into custody for trespassing.
Now Grace and her dad are speaking out.
I was honestly just so surprised.
I mean, this is literally a fucking pageant mom, dude. For the record. What's going on here is a pageant mom. Like, this is a pageant queen. This is our version of the pageant queen, and this is the pageant mom. Like, he's like so excited. Is he a cop? I could see that. He's got a cop dome. It's obvious what's going on here. I mean, this is a total fucking grift.
I never saw myself in the back of a squad car, especially not for something that I didn't do. Because I was not trespassing. I was just trying to get my education.
No, you weren't. You're a fucking idiot who's like probably motivated by her dumbass grifter father into taking a political stance, a brave one. You'll get a fucking Tucker Carlson slot, okay? There'll probably be a fucking GoFundMe, and in that GoFundMe, your family will make like $100,000, and that's it. Like, that's what's going on here. You will have a TikTok right-wing news show in days? Yeah. I mean, they literally had a press conference, like, ready to go. Should have tanked her by her hair. What? While she screams she's a poor child, see if they care then. What? Anyway, Joe Rogan, the brilliant scientific mind that we all know and love, who always is really good at talking about, you know, science, reasoning, logic. Probably referring to the paraplegic black man. Yeah, I know. It's unacceptable when it happens to anyone. Police brutality, that is. Anyway, let's listen to the top minds of our generation, perhaps of all time, actually. Kyle did a segment on you? What?
So bench.
What is this? Kyle doing a fucking bench press golds? What is this background, dude? Holy crap, Kyle. Anyway, let's hear what the top brilliant ape mind, the ape researcher, had to say.
The Joe Rogan experience.
Oh, before we get to this, actually, fuck that. I do want to talk about. Is that Fareed Zakaria? I mean, not Fareed Zakaria. Fucking Sanjay Gupta or whatever. Not Sanjay Gupta. Fuck. Oh my god, I'm counting. I'm saying every brown person. Fuck. The CNN doctor guy. It is Sanjay Gupta, right? Yeah, okay. I forgot his name for a second. It is Sanjay Gupta. Okay, good. I was like worried that his name wasn't Sanjay Gupta. Okay, well, I'm listing literally all the brown people. You racist piece of shit. Yeah, I know. before we get into this, I want to watch more HOG nurses, though.
% of workers are vaccinated. El Reeve went to that hospital and spoke to an employee.
Wait, how many percent?
Where at Scotland County Hospital, only 60% of workers are vaccinated. El Reeve went to that hospital and spoke to an employee who's willing to lose her job instead of getting the shot.
I do believe COVID's terrible. I believe it's dangerous. I watch people every day, and I watch the...
Hasan is such a rich capitalist. He doesn't want to talk about the general strike. General strike thoughts? Hello? 60-month subscriber. First of all, here, let's reject this friend request real quick. What do you think about the general strike in 2 days? What is this, like some fucking TikTok shit, dude? Like, not only did I have a prominent labor writer fucking write the IATSE strike from my house, I literally featured another prominent fucking labor writer the other day to talk about like the actual strikes that are going on and not some shit that you saw on fucking TikTok, okay? Like, what is this? Thoughts on the general strike? Will it be significant? Was it coming up? Is it significant? I don't even know what the fuck it is. Search it up on YouTube and see all the big names talking about it. What is this general strike? What the fuck is going on? What? I don't even know what this is, but like, if the people that I talk to on a regular basis, who are some of the best labor journalists in the country right now, a field that unfortunately is not very large or broad, if they aren't like, yo, there's a general strike going on, you should probably give attention to it, and I haven't fucking heard about it, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's not a real fucking strike and more so just a TikTok meme. Hopefully it works. You know? I'm on board, love it. Like, but if it's a bunch of fucking LARPing ass Twitter leftists and like fucking Jimmy Dore fans and shit, well, you can't strike if you don't have a job, dog. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a fucking NEET who sits around all day and watches Jimmy Dore and like fucking gets angry and posts about how much of a fake socialist I am or some shit, like, it doesn't really matter. What are you, generally striking against your mommy? Hey, mommy, I'm not getting my chicken tendies today. I'm on a general strike I saw on TikTok. I mean, I'll fucking eat my words if it's like an actual thing, but... No, it's not about IATSE. What? They're trying to cancel you again? The Nicki Minaj stands are like fucking relentless, dude.
Leftist and also
Hasan drafted bust tweet, thoughts, analysis, and open discussion. That's 9:18, dude. Okay, listen, guys. First of all, it's 9:18. Secondly, okay, like it's not even recent. Secondly, if you are doing like thoughts analysis on a fucking drafted tweet and you openly admit to it being a drafted tweet, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, okay. Yeah. Just trying to get your attention. Biden even talked about it. Okay, shut the fuck up, dude. Here, fucking time yourself out for a second. Cool off. No, it's a huge joke. Look at their demands. National General Strike. General strike is a strike in action in which a substantial proportion of the total labor force. The U.S. government is not serving its people. The United States is the only developed country that requires 0 paid time off. I mean, these are all real. Unemployment rose 14% because companies refuse to raise wages. Only 100 corporations are responsible. Federal minimum wage hasn't been raised since 2009. 40 million Americans live at or below the national poverty line. Pharmaceutical companies are extorting patients for medications. And the average American is $90,000 in debt just to afford basic necessities. Okay, all of that's real. In an effort to combat this tyranny, we propose a general strike starting on October 20th. This demonstration serves to show your company and our country as a whole that you deserve basic human rights. Your labor is a bargaining tool and you are worth more than what society is offering to you. Click the Twitter link at the bottom. Hold on. Let's do it. Oh, the Twitter link just is a auto link for you to tweet out that you're in support of the general strike or some shit. Our goals: 25% corporate tax rate. Wait, what? Free healthcare for all. 12 weeks paid paternity and maternity leave. $20 minimum wage. 4-day work week. Stricter environmental regulations on corporations. Bans on single-use and microplastics and limited emissions. If you support any of our goals, stand in solidarity with us on October 15th and taking off work. Abstain from going into work starting on October 15th. Do not participate in economic activity starting on October 15th. What the fuck is this, dude? I mean, I don't disagree with any of this. All these goals are great. Their reasons are great. I mean, they're real and true. But that's not how this works. You know what I mean? Like, you need to fucking organize. You need to, like, actually have union backing. Otherwise, you're just not going to work that day on your own. And you also have to clearly outline goals that are achievable, okay? Chatter said this is the Area 51 raid for jobs. That's pretty funny. Okay, so, I mean, I can't wait for the motherfuckers that are like behind this to turn around and be like, yo, this Hasan guy, such a grifter. Like, he hates labor strikes. Like, he's just a big fan of fucking hating on labor strikes. He's a scab or some shit. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know. I don't understand who's behind it or any of the labor unions behind it, because if you don't have any of the labor unions behind it, and if no one is voted to authorize a strike, you can't just do a fucking strike by word of mouth. Like, you can't even organize a wildcat strike like this. Okay? Which is the really sad part about this is that, like, I think part of this, my immediate reaction to this isn't cynical, isn't like, oh, this is just some fucking purely promotional grift that someone is like co-opting one of the most significant methods of power that working class Americans have. Okay, my immediate reaction to this is that, like, we are so far removed from labor organizing in this fucking country that people don't even understand the fundamentals of collective bargaining, unionization, strike authorization, and the like. Like, I mean, I had Jonah Furman on last week. Great labor reporter, as you guys know. If you're unfamiliar with his work, you're probably familiar with it now. And the thing is, like, even when we talk about the IATSE strike, which Alex Press wrote about in the New York Times, I should have her on as well. But please end this unlock and click this. It's all fake. What? No, it's not. Someone just took it. Someone probably just like took that and are memeing about it or some shit. You know what I mean? Their Twitter is currently hacked. Wait, really? Our team is currently in contract with labor unions to establish a larger basis with vested interest in our cause. We're also contacting congressmen to garner political support and levy our demands from thereabout. Dude, you can't be in contact with labor unions when the general strike that you're advocating for is in 1 day and 10 hours, dude. Are you fucking stupid? Motherfucker, they should have contacted labor unions like a year ago if they wanted to fucking facilitate a goddamn general strike. What is this? I feel like this is just the AWS Google plot to get logs on people interested in this. Nah. This is like when chatters are like, we're forming a fucking union in the chat and we're gonna fucking, you know, ban you from OK Buddy if you don't look at it every day. It's like, okay. That's not how organizing works. October, r/October strike, 6K members, dude. And why do you think anyone's going to put their jobs on the line when there's no solid organizers behind this? Furthermore, what are your goals? Platitudes aren't going to win you support if workers don't think you will improve their condition, which this clearly won't. Okay, there's a website for the strike that might answer some of your questions, though honestly, I can't fault you for not knowing about it since it wasn't linked or mentioned anywhere in the subreddit's description. Yeah. As I was saying, if I am not to think that this is like an op or some kind of like cynical ploy to fucking build momentum for a bunch of, you know, quote unquote lefty weirdos, even though it does smell really fucking weird, I would go so far as to say that it's because well-intentioned TikTok lefties who are so far removed from unionizing and like collective bargaining and any sort of thing that they themselves are thinking that this is how labor strikes are organized. And this is probably, yeah, the biggest publicity that this has gotten so far. So thank you to the 16-month subscriber dumbass in my fucking chat for saying shit like, thoughts on a general strike in 2 days. You know? But that's not how this works. So here are my thoughts. It seems well-intentioned. This was what was in the Discord.
The general strike Discord because I'm trying to get some answers because nobody seems to be answering on TikTok. So turns out the organizers that originally put this strike together have left because they did not do the math of how this will work, what their demands actually could accomplish or couldn't accomplish. So there's just random people trying to organize this at this point, and that's why we don't know who these people are or where they're from. So just, I'll keep you updated if I find more information. Hello, I just joined the General Strike Discord because I'm trying to get some answers because nobody seems...
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It hurts. It hurts when I see this. It hurts when I see stuff like this. It's like, it's just like... Yeah, this is fucking laughable. Please stop doing stuff like this. Abstain from going into work starting on October 15th. Do not participate in economic activity starting on October 15th. Just die, dude. Do not participate in economic activity starting on October 15th. The fuck does that mean, dude? These are the people who shit on you for not doing enough praxis? Yeah, fucking Christ, dude. Where's the strike fund? Where are the organizers? How will people survive? Like, what is this? Stop existing. Okay, got it. I will abstain from economic activity right after I see the Marvel's The Eternals in theaters now. Spread the word and inform your family, friends, and colleagues about the strike. Increase class consciousness by educating you, those around you through our Learn page. What? If you plan on participating, sign the petition so others can get an idea of our collective strength. Will I get fired? Companies fire people for illegal reasons all the time, so please use caution at your own discretion when disclosing to your employer. The NLRA protects your rights to strike even if you're not a union member or you're engaged in... What? The petition has 22K signatures. Okay, guys, this is not how this works, okay? I would not sign this fucking petition. I would not touch this petition. I would not go near this fucking thing. I probably spent too much time on this website as is. This is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen, dude. What the fuck? And now the organizers have abandoned it, and motherfuckers are still in my chat being like, I caught you. I caught you, dude. I caught you fucking doing, I caught you scabbing, dude. You're fucking fake. We got you. What the fuck is this, dude? Yeah, this is super, super sussy. If you can't see how sussy this is, like, I urge you to change your nose a little bit. You know, pick up the smell test a little bit. Apparently, centrism is when you cut and water down insanely popular policies for absolutely no justifiable reason. Centrist group's proposal for the $2 trillion plan. Remember, it was 3.5 and now we're at 2. So there's that. Bigger child tax credit, smaller. Pre-K means testing. Jesus. Green energy initiatives. Higher Obamacare subsidies. Paid family leave. Out. Medicare expansion. What? Community college out. Childcare out. Elder care out. Affordable housing out. Great, dude. That's the bare minimum. Glad that they're cutting that. And Biden's approval ratings are falling at the time that this is happening. So that's wonderful. And also, Biden and Democrats are planning to shrink the infrastructure bill to $2 trillion. That is wonderful, dude. All the fucking 3 moderates had to do in the Senate was just hold the line and be like, yeah, we're not doing it. Well, guess what, dude? Fuck your $1.5 trillion bipartisan bill. I hope that shit gets blown up in fucking Congress, in the House of Representatives. That's right. I said it. I don't give a fuck, dude. I do not give a fuck. Blow that shit up, dude. Fuck the Biden administration if that's the case. That's bullshit, man. That is fucking bullshit. It's the bare goddamn minimum. Are you fucking insane? Bernie can block it by himself in the Senate? No, he can't because he already fucking voted for it. Right now, the $1.5 trillion bill is in the hands of the House of Representatives. That's it. What? Gigi Hadid body slams Jake Paul. We should review this video sometime. What the fuck? Also, a general strike for climate change has the exact same energy as like the NBA Players Association striking for, ending racism. Like, sorry. And even I said it at the time, like, it would be wonderful if the Players Association actually fucking striked, because it's like highly visible and people can like, people recognize that there is a lot of power there as workers, and it can get others to unionize or even engage in collective bargaining. But ultimately, like, ending racism with a players union strike is not a feasible thing. You have to have reasonable, understandable, tangible fucking goals. Oh, we talked about the general strike. I missed it. Yeah, I fucking shit on it. Look how long it took for Yahtzee to organize a strike. Can't be done on TikTok. Remember when you said Mansion and Cinema would fold? Sorry, Mansion would fold. I think Mansion would fold if it wasn't for fucking Cinema and all the other conservative senators that are like backing him. If it was simply just an issue of Mansion and there was more stress applied to all of these people by party leadership, then yeah. Hasan, use your platforms to help get the strikes in order. That's not how this works, man. What the fuck? I am not even in a fucking labor union, dude. What the fuck kind of take is this? Like, it's not... I don't even know who the fuck is organizing this, or even if they themselves are a part of a fucking labor union, dude. What the fuck, dude? That's not how this works. Like, I mean, I had these exact same criticisms about Twitch's day of action too. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how this works. You can't just like abstain from streaming one day. Like, you'll get some media attention out of it, and then Twitch will act, and that's good. But like a general strike, holy fuck, it's not happening.
Fear in people's eyes every day, and that's the saddest, most terrifying part, is to see our society become so fearful.
After this hog nurse saying she doesn't want to take the fucking vaccine, we will be talking about a real strike. Actually, fuck it. I'll talk about it now. The IATSE strike, okay? As of today, unless an agreement is reached, IATSE members will begin a nationwide strike on October 18th, starting at 12 a.m. Pacific time. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees and International President Matthew Loeb announced today that unless an agreement is reached, union members will begin a nationwide strike against the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers on Monday. Loeb said the union will continue bargaining with the producers this week in the hopes of reaching an agreement that addresses core issues such as reasonable rest periods, meal breaks, and living wage for those on the bottom of the wage scale. However, the pace of bargaining doesn't reflect any sense of urgency, Loeb said. Without an end date, we could keep talking forever. Our members deserve to have their basic needs addressed now. Last week, IATSE members who work in television and film production at 36 IATSE local unions across the country voted to authorize the union's international president to call a strike if contract talks didn't result in a new contract for 60,000 film and television workers. Guys, that's how you do a strike. You organize, you have already a unionized workforce, you have 60,000 members in your union, okay? In the private sector, you literally fucking hold a vote for it, and you authorize the strike. This is a long process. Voter turnout was at 90%, with 98.6% of those voting in support of authorizing the strike. That's how you do a real strike. Okay? That's how that works. So you have to have a club to make a difference? No, dude. You have to be able to bargain collectively, you fucking idiot. That's what labor unions do. You have to have a club to make a difference is such a fucking idiotic. I spend all my time on Twitch, and I think that posting is activism take. I don't know how to fucking describe this to you. It takes groups of people in their local areas, and someone has to be that local revolutionary. You have to stop asking the internet and walk into local issues yourself. This won't work as a national movement, chat. You have to make moves in your own area. Motherfuckers are hilarious, dude. You don't have to be in a union to unionize, but you need to unionize to be able to engage in collective action. Or at least organize before you even unionize. Well, organizing the first step in organizing is unionizing. But even if you can't do that, you can at least organize I mean, you literally would not be able to strike without a union. That's just the reality. It's hard as it is to fucking strike with a union to get everyone to hold the line. It's already difficult as fuck. So I don't know how to describe this to you, man. Do strikes really do anything, though? Of course they do. Look for the club label when you're buying that coat, dress, or blouse. Remember, somewhere our club's suing. Our wages going to feed the kids and run the house. What? The NLRB definition of legal strikes, the first 5 and 6 paragraphs are what matters. The lawfulness of the strike may depend on the object purpose of the strike, on its timing, or on the conduct of the strikers. The objects are of a strike, and whether the objects are lawful are matters that are not always easy to determine. I mean, this is boring. I'm not going to show you all this, but a strike may be unlawful because an object or purpose of the strike is unlawful. A strike in support of a union is unfair labor practice, or one that could cause an employer to commit an unfair labor practice may be a strike for an unlawful object. For example, it is an unfair labor practice for an employer to discharge an employee for failure to make certain lawful payments to the union when there's no union security agreement. In effect, a strike to compel the employer to do this would be a fair strike for an unlawful object, and therefore an unlawful strike. Strikes of this nature will be discussed in connection with the various unfair labor practices in a later section of this guide. Strikes can be unlawful. The more larger streamers jump on more, the more legitimacy a strike has. No, that's not how this works. Shut the fuck up. That's not how this works. No, a bunch of streamers and YouTubers being like, yo, let's do a general strike. Bleh. Like, that doesn't mean anything. That does not mean anything. You need to have actual organizational tools. You need to have a fucking strike fund. You need to be able to get authorization from others ahead of time that they too will participate. Otherwise, you're just taking off from work that day. You're calling a sick day by yourself. You have no leverage on your own. This is so fucking weird, man. How do people not understand this? We just had Jonah on to describe this. The entire purpose of a fucking strike is to show through a work stoppage how much power workers actually have, because there is no value without labor. Okay? There is no value without labor. So you show that by collectively getting together and doing a work stoppage. Okay? That's how you get your bosses to fucking understand it. Hasan to Rich the strike. No, I'm not striking because I'm going to keep fucking your mom on that day, which is my labor, okay? Shut the fuck up. The only leverage you have is that when you are united and you stop working alongside the rest of the production line, the work stops in its entirety. Why the fuck are 14-year-olds who have never even worked a goddamn day in their fucking lives trying to explain to me how unions work and how strikes work? Anyway. Fuck me, dude. Everybody thinks like posting is literally activism. It's so fucking frustrating. Yeah, difficult decisions from the Biden camp. Anyway, let's move on from this. All right, let's
But
watch
I do
this
not think
nerd.
the government has the right to step in and mandate and tell us what we have to do.
How do you think that's going to affect you if there is a vaccine mandate at this hospital?
I think that I will then seek further employment. And I hate to do that because I love my patients. I love the people I work with, but at the same time, I'm not going to personally go against something that I feel very, very deeply in my soul that would hurt me.
Only about 60% of staff are vaccinated at Scotland County Hospital in rural northeast Missouri. The hospital's CEO doesn't think a mandate will make unvaccinated staff get the shot. He thinks it will make them quit.
Our reality is we need staff to work. And in return for you working, we're not going to ask you to get a vaccine mandate. There were people in the hospital that freely shared that if a vaccine mandate happened on our account or on anyone else's, they would not work here. That's just something they weren't going to put in their body. And we thought, well, why not take advantage of people's perceptions and people's fears? Because everyone wears an N95 mask when they're giving patient care anyway. A lot of people were pleased that we honored their right to choose what they want to do with their body. And I think that may have helped retain some staff that may have been tempted to jump to other places because of salary or what they perceive as different working conditions.
Tobler's strategy reflects the reality of where he lives. Only 22% of people in the area are vaccinated.
For someone who is on the fence or has previously been rejecting vaccines for whatever reason, the closer that they see someone, you know, that they either know or love that suffers a grave illness or tragically dies, that often is the switch that flips their mind.
And how do you square that with healthcare workers, though, who saw so many people sick and then still don't want the vaccine?
I can't, other than it doesn't make common sense to me. I can't explain it. It's inexplicable.
The Supreme Court upheld a vaccine mandate for smallpox in 1905. Still, a small portion of hospital workers around the country have protested vaccine mandates. But the opposition matters a lot more here, because Scotland County Hospital struggles to have enough staff, and 10 of its 57 nurses left during the pandemic. It even mailed pamphlets advertising it had no mandate to nurses across Missouri, hoping to entice them to come. But 2 days later, President Biden announced a federal mandate that would affect workers at all hospitals that accept Medicare or Medicaid.
If you're seeking care at a health facility, you should be able to know that the people treating you are vaccinated.
I criticized President Biden's mandate. I thought it was a mistake because I think it's going to backfire.
I think it's going to hurt our people and our health care, because if you lose your health care workers, then who's going to take care of the people that do have this disease? You know, it's a ridiculous mandate. And I just, personally, it's my own choice.
Shane Wilson saw his own dad hospitalized with COVID here late last year. He's also Sheila's doctor. Do you talk about it with staff members who don't want the vaccine, or?
This shit fucking hurts my soul, dude. Like, it hurts my fucking soul to see people literally try to, like, organize against their best interest. It's like construction workers organizing against OSHA restrictions. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't want to wear a hard hat in the workplace. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be able to take breaks. Like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like truckers organizing against seat belts and like lower work hours so they don't have to fucking fall asleep on the wheel. You know what I mean? What are you doing? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Or do you just like try to avoid the
Sure, no,
topic?
I'd talk with them. A lot of the people that I've talked with around here that aren't vaccinated are concerned about mostly the unknown of what if this vaccine causes an issue with whatever in the future, and they're just skeptical. It's incredibly frustrating to try to get the education and understanding across that you're not just protecting yourself We're doing this to try to keep our neighbors healthy. We're doing this to try to keep others from losing people. And that's what I try to do, is to try to sit down with staff members and patients alike and explain why it is that I would prefer that they get vaccinated, what our goal is, what the end goal is here, and it's not an individual thing.
Dr. Wilson also tried to convince his high school best friend, Kurt Triplett, who co-owns Triplet Farms with his brothers.
For me personally, I have no problem with the vaccine, but what has turned rural America or conservatives against it is basically turn it into a political football.
Are you vaccinated?
I am not.
You're not. How come?
We live very secluded where we're at. I don't feel like the risk either to me or to...
Yo, you know what's funny? All those cows got the fucking COVID vaccine, among numerous others. Like, this motherfucker literally knew about COVID. He knew about the COVID vaccine before there was one for human beings. And he already took the necessary measures for his assets, right? But he won't do it for himself. That's how powerful misinformation is. Understand that. Misinformation is so powerful that a dude who knew about COVID, because if you have worked with cattle, you know COVID is something that has impacted cattle for a very long time, and there's vaccines for it. Way, way, way before like it impacted humans and there was a vaccine for humans, right? The saddest part about it is that like he's taking the necessary precautions to ensure that his fucking cows don't get slaughtered. Cows don't get vaccines, dumbass. Wait, what? Did you just say cows don't get vaccines? And then you said dumbass? Prank, hi Hasan, 15-month subscriber. Oh my god. Oh, what is this weird fetish that fucking chatters have to...
to someone else is high enough to justify taking it.
I'm sorry if this is a dumb question, but you can yell at me if you think it is.
No.
But, like, don't you vaccinate your animals?
To some extent, herd immunity.
To some extent, bitch, you vaccinate them against coronavirus. Like, literally.
It does happen. And maybe the vaccine would speed that up. Other times, it isn't that big a deal.
But, like, what about a farm dog?
We do take our dogs in for rabies and
Exactly,
parvo
rabies.
and things like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
parvo.
Yes. We don't want them to be sickly, so yes, we do.
Well, just explain it to me like I'm an idiot. Why do you see those things as different?
Really, I'm not going to say that I'm not getting the vaccine because I don't believe it wouldn't do the job, that it wouldn't work. I don't know what all the risks are out there for the vaccine. I mean, they're well documented. We don't have to go over all the risks. And
what are the well documented? No, let's go over them. She should be like, no, can you please go over them? Because I want to know what these risks are. Enlighten me. What's going to happen to me? Because I'm vaccinated. I want to know what will happen to my body now that I've taken that, fake vaccine, the Bill and Melinda Gates vaccine.
And I just feel like my risk of being exposed to COVID and what it do to me is not greater than the risks that the vaccine has, is what it really comes down to. If you wanted to get opinions, there's no telling what, you'll get opinions both ways. You would just step into Lacey's Diner out there at a certain time and you would get exposed to lots of opinions and ideas about everything you've asked me, and some might agree with me and some would definitely disagree with me, and that'd just be the way it is.
Are you guys all vaccinated?
Nope.
No?
No.
How come?
Nope.
I don't believe in it.
Did you get the COVID vaccine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right off the bat, as soon as I could.
Yeah.
Everybody should get it.
Well, he doesn't think so.
I feel more secure after getting the shot, and I won't get it.
Do you not find that argument convincing?
Do I not find? No.
You don't? Well, just can you explain?
Huh?
Why don't you find that argument convincing?
My daughter, she don't believe in it either. She worked all through last year with COVID patients up there. She's a nurse.
Okay, but she didn't get the vaccine.
Nope.
And what'd she tell you was her reason?
To not get it?
Yeah.
She don't believe in it either.
But can you just say why?
I don't think it's been proven yet. It's never been fully approved.
It is FDA approved.
For emergency use.
No, there was an emergency use authorization, but now it is FDA approved.
Is it?
Yes, it's a Pfizer shot. How would you feel if there had to be a mandate that you had to get it?
I think that'd violate my constitutional right.
No, it doesn't. Actually. God, Americans are so fucking stupid, dude. It literally does not. Like, it does not. And part of me at this point actually feels like we just want to fucking win the argument. Like, liberals just want to win the argument. I just, like, I don't know. I fuck him, dude. Fuck this guy. Just, yeah, don't get it, dude. Fucking die then, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You seem like a sweet old man, but, if you get COVID and die, sorry, you know? Just like, what are you supposed to do here? It's like, we're so far into the fucking pandemic. Jesus Christ, dude. Liberals want the conservatives to get vaccinated because they want to win the argument. Conservatives are refusing to get the fucking vaccine because they don't want liberals to win the argument. That's what it reduces to in a lot of ways.
And where Shelby works, my daughter, she'll just quit.
Really? You think she'll quit?
Mm-hmm. So will about 3 or 4 others.
Nurses?
Mm-hmm. So if they mandate it, we're going to be short a lot of nurses.
I think a lot of people here just feel like it's not a necessity, that they have the system that can fight that, and if their system can't fight that, the likelihood is they were going to probably pass from something else anyway.
So you're confident your body is strong enough to repel COVID?
My mind is. Now whether or not my body is a whole other situation. I wouldn't know until I had had that, but I have made it this far in life.
And Ellie Reeve joins me now. Ellie, you do such important, incisive reporting, and we appreciate it so much. And we heard so many people questioning the safety or the efficacy, often with false data, of the COVID vaccines. But did you get a sense of what else is driving their hesitancy?
So more than 400 million doses of the vaccine have been given out in America and billions worldwide. The CDC says the vaccine is safe and that serious problems are rare. But often when we say that to people who don't want to take it, they have some other objection ready. And what we found is that at the bottom of it, a lot of people just think it's not going to be me, that somebody else is going to be the one who gets really sick, and they won't.
It's not going to be me. You know, sooner or later, it could be. Ellie, like I said, terrific reporting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, a mother sues her child's school district and the school board.
What if she dies from COVID? She doesn't seem healthy enough. I mean, if she dies, bro. Like, that's just what it is. What is this? If she dies, that nurse. Okay?
So today I passed by this house. The original audio didn't record for some reason, but the whole time I'm just saying how at a loss for words I am that I saw.
For the record, it's like
all this today. I don't know if this is the most anti-vax shit I've ever seen or the most tone-deaf shit.
Of course, huge fucking house. And it's not always like poor people that are doing this as a lack of like it's not lack of access to education or anything. It's always like rich ass motherfuckers are like this too. There's so many fucking rich hogs that are exactly like this.
They're basically made a haunted house of a vaccine clinic.
But like, to be fair, I don't give a shit. I think it's pretty funny. I would never look at this and go, oh my God, this is so devastating. It's so tone deaf. But like, you know, like, I think that's awesome. Like, I am on board with that as a Halloween decoration, if we're being real. Anyway. Is everybody racist? The fuck is that? Okay, let's listen to Joe Rogan talk to Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Did you read the email leaks, the emails from Peter
Intercept?
Daszak, and yeah, all the different discussions that they had about their concerns that they were responsible for this through gain-of-function research?
They applied for a grant to specifically do a...
Oh my God, I just cooked up the best conservative tweet. Dr. Fauci's emails were leaked where he lied to the American public about masks and he wasn't fired. But John Gruden's emails leak and he says locker room things to his friends and he gets fired immediately. There's a double standard against white Catholic Christians that fear God in this country. I would be the greatest fucking conservative commentator. Okay? When I tell you I would be the greatest conservative commentator the world has ever seen, I mean it, dude. That's a banger. It's so easy.
To insert a furin cleavage site, which is that particular part of the virus that raised so much concern. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, like, this gets back to the same thing I think we're dancing around a little bit, which is I don't know sometimes what to do with this. It's highly suspicious. I think of this sometimes the way I think about my teenage kids. They're not telling me everything here. Now, do I automatically assume they're totally guilty of everything I think they're guilty of, or is there something else going on here? You know? I think...
Oh my God, someone said Rush Himbo. I love that. I fucking love that, dude. Rush Himbo.
China has not... part of being prepared in my World War C book is that we have to have a World Health Organization that's actually empowered to be able to do things. It's just it's too beholden, I think, to China. And there was a letter that came out from Peter Daszak in February of last year that he wrote in The Lancet, along with a bunch of other people, saying this thing, this is ridiculous to suggest that this had somehow been bioengineered at a lab.
Meanwhile, the internal emails suggested that he had very different concerns.
That's worrisome. And I said that to Peter. I said, Peter, this is not making sense.
And what did he say?
He said, hey, there's no evidence that the virus ever existed in this lab. There's no evidence that it leaked out of the lab.
Well, that's because they destroyed a lot of evidence.
This is concerning.
They deleted in how many?
What are you saying, dude? Nah, they just deleted all of it, dude. It's like, how do you know this? I don't know. It's just like they deleted it, dude. Fuck it. I know.
How much evidence did they delete in 2019?
Genuine question. What's your opinion on vaccine makers being immune from lawsuits? If it's safe, why are they immune from lawsuits? That's literally every fucking pharmaceutical corporation. For everything. It's like not a new thing. It's just because Big Pharma has complete control over Big Pharma has complete control over our fucking government. And having said that, I promise you, there is no fucking lawsuit immunity that could protect Pfizer if billions of doses have been administered so far and people start dying. You understand that, right? There is no fucking lawsuit protection there. Okay? So just remember that. There is no way to fucking protect Pfizer if they like end up murdering 1 million people. You get that, right? Now, not only that, but also Ammo GD brings up a really great point. I really want to understand what difference it makes whether the virus was made in a lab to whether they should wear a mask or get vaccinated. Yup. There is no difference. And yet, we fucking hyper-focus on it for some weird reason. There is, however, a difference when I run the ad at the top of the hour, and if you're not subscribed, then you get to see the ad. That's right. If you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, free of the top of the hour ad break, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5. You have $5. You could do that for free if you have a Twitch Prime, or if neither works for you, because you foolishly use your Twitch Prime elsewhere and you're like, fuck this guy, I don't want to give him $5, then you can use an ad block or a VPN. That's right. But Twitch Prime is free if you have an Amazon Prime account that you connected to your Twitch account. Here's the ad now.
Stunning amount.
Well, the entire database went down.
Exactly.
Now, I said, I said to him, you were part of the WHO investigation. Did you see the database? Now, it's been over a year later. He said, no. When I said, is that not of concern to you? He said, look, he goes, it was a public database. They were worried about hacking, and so that's why they took it down. I said, if it was a public database, why were they worried about hacking? What were they trying to hide? So I don't know, Joe, what to make of it. There's clearly, as you said earlier, I think you said where there is smoke, there is fire, probably. But can I say conclusively? No. And part of me thinks we may never know. We don't have a system in place at a sort of global level to mandate that these things actually come to light.
Yeah.
We don't treat this like we treat Department of Defense issues. We don't treat, we should be thinking about this more from a defense standpoint rather than a public health preventive standpoint.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see Fauci being grilled by Rand Paul and he denies that they were doing gain-of-function research, what are your thoughts on that? Because by any definition, that was gain-of-function research, right? Gain-of-function research is taking a virus. We should probably Google the exact definition, but what my impression is that gain-of-function means...
Bro, how many times this motherfucker talked about gain-of-function research? He should know off top dome by now. Like, I don't understand it. Like, you have... Dude, you have people that work with you, man. Fucking have Jamie, like, literally pull that up in front of you before you start the conversation.
You are imparting...
Or how about you ask the fucking CNN medical expert, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, what the fuck it is? Instead of trying to describe to him something when you already admitted you don't know what it is. I don't know. That seems like a thing you can do. He's right in front of you, dude.
New ability to this virus to infect humans, right? The idea is that you're juicing it up and making it more contagious.
That's right. And that type of research has been done, and in fact, I think it was done 2015. Right? I think in the Netherlands somewhere.
But if the NIH was giving funding to EcoHealth Alliance, and EcoHealth Alliance was funding that kind of research,
I think
and
that
then Fauci is not being honest about that.
I think the NIH is clearly funding EcoHealth Alliance, and EcoHealth Alliance is clearly giving grants to Wuhan Institute of Virology. Here's how they answer the question when I ask them, including Francis Collins, who's the head of the NIH. They define gain-of-function research as this: you have a known bad contagious pathogen, and you're going to essentially use the backbone of another known bad pathogen, and you're going to splice them together, essentially. You're taking one thing that you know to be bad and contagious and splicing it with something else that you know to be bad. That is, you're expecting this to be worse than what you started with. If you're taking a novel virus and you don't know how contagious this is, and you're basically saying, look, I want to isolate the spike protein on this new virus. I'm going to put it on the backbone of something I do know.
And make it contagious to humans.
We'll see how it behaves at that point. Does this actually start to behave as something super contagious or not? The possibility is that it could, but they're not sure. So this is nuanced, and a lot of people have taken issue with it, including scientists who work in the field. But the strict definition is that you got to know, for gain-of-function research, you know that it's going to lead to gain-of-function.
So maybe the problem is using the term gain-of-function.
Yeah.
If we instead abandon any sort of nomenclature that might be problematic and say, were they doing experiments to make viruses more contagious to people? The answer would be yes.
Yeah. Were they doing experiments that could lead to viruses being more contagious? Yes. I think that's right. That is research that is done to try and figure out. I mean, so a lot of these pathogens they examine, they're not contagious. They put the spike protein or they put some component of the virus onto the backbone of a known thing, and it doesn't do much. So they say we don't have to worry about this. But it could turn into a situation where you take a component of a new virus, you put it on the backbone of a known virus, and it does lead to something much more contagious. And that's what a lot of people are concerned about here. I mean, you know, there was part of those emails, as you know, Joe, were emails that were sent to Fauci January of last year, where Christian Anderson raised this concern. He subsequently wrote a paper saying, hey, those changes that we saw, I thought that was clear evidence of bioengineering, but now I've seen evidence of those same abnormalities in existing naturally occurring viruses. So now I don't think that's the problem. But it's just it's going back and forth, and you know, frankly, we may never know for sure.
Watch the entire.
Okay, why? I wish they didn't fucking cut this as so short. I don't have a problem with gain-of-function research. Okay, I don't. People saying that like a lab leak is possible and it makes it so much scarier. Miss the point. The point that is like this kind of research is supposed to be helpful in preventing further spread in the future. That's just how science works. We literally hard struggled to figure out a virus structure, and they say in a lab already made it. Well, I mean, why did they just cut it so short, dude? I'd rather not be caught with my fucking pants down. Oh, reversing his medical marijuana stance? Oh, fuck. I don't care about this. More from the podcast with Sanjay and Joe.
Don't you think that even with a breakthrough infection, untreated, you're probably more vulnerable than the average child who is not vaccinated, who gets COVID? Like people have died who are double vaccinated. In fact, there was a guy who just won.
Dude, double vax people dying is a meaningless statistic if double vax people dying is such a fucking marginal anomaly that 99% of people that are dying of COVID are unvaccinated. Pointing to one fucking anecdote does not mean anything. You literally are owning yourself. It's like looking at one tree, okay, that has been burned down and going, this entire forest is on fire. Look. When the forest is totally fine, you're just hyper-focusing on the one tree. You're like, well, the forest must be on fire. Nobody works like that. You don't operate this way in any other part of your fucking life. Nobody fucking said the COVID vaccine is supposed to make you immortal.
Won an Emmy who's
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the odds of that happening to a healthy child are very, very low.
Very low.
But that guy is probably your age. How old are you?
I'm 51.
Yeah, he's about your age. Theoretically, you would be more vulnerable than a young child would be. You vaccinated would be more vulnerable of a breakthrough infection than a young child would be, statistically speaking, right? But you,
dude, 36% of COVID infections in Rhode Island are now in vaccinated people. That doesn't mean anything. The number that you are supposed to look at, the percentage that you're supposed to look at, the COVID vaccine does not make you fucking immune to getting COVID. But it greatly reduces, like to almost 100% degree, the likelihood that you will get hospitalized and die of COVID, okay? Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. It's killing me. We're still having this conversation.
you're not worried
They're
about
both
catching
rare.
But you're not worried about catching it. you're not worried about catching it because you've been vaccinated and you think it imparts a certain amount of protection. What I'm saying to you is I think that not worry is the same feeling that a lot of people have about their children. They're not worried about their healthy children catching it for the same reason you're not worried about catching it being vaccinated. That if treated correctly, they think that the child probably has a better chance even than you do because you're 51 years old.
I think...
Does that...
I mean, they're both...
That seems reasonable, right?
Well, I think it's... I know the story about this 53-year-old
But you see
guy.
what I'm saying? Like with your attitude that you're not worried about catching it because you...
Bro, this is such an insane and desperate attempt. Like, this is something you do when the only thing you care about is winning the argument, okay? You're so desperate that you're literally looking for like, well, what if the vaccine gives you more confidence to go outside? And someone who's unvaccinated is staying inside. It's like, really? That's where we're at? That's what you want to do? The overwhelming majority of anti-vaxxers are staying indoors and safe? No. So that doesn't even fucking matter. One, the overwhelming majority of anti-vaxxers are not staying indoors and being safe, okay? If that was the case, then they wouldn't be we wouldn't have massive surges and hospitals push the fucking brink, okay? So demonstrably that has not worked. And two, is that the world you want to live in where everybody's fucking fearful of dying of COVID? That's the whole point of the vaccine, is so we can return to normalcy, man. What the fuck? What a stupid fucking rebuttal, dude.
You've been vaccinated and you're a healthy guy. That is the exact same feeling that people have about vaccinating their children. If they have healthy children and they know that statistically speaking, there's so few children that have died from COVID.
Well, yeah, there are. It's like, I think 500 or so children
out of
have died
millions and millions and millions of kids
that probably have been exposed.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, again, part of it is not defining this in terms of life and death. I think
but do you understand my point?
Well, are you suggesting I get boosted?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is your attitude about not being concerned because you have antibodies and you think you would get through it even if you had a breakthrough infection.
What the fuck just happened?
What I'm saying is your attitude about not being concerned because you have antibodies and you think you would get through it even if you had a breakthrough infection. That is the exact same attitude that a lot of young people have where they don't want to get a shot because they're worried about the consequences, even though they're incredibly small.
Consequences of the vaccine.
Incredibly small. But the VAERS report, they do have deaths.
The VAERS report has deaths. Okay, we have to watch this entire thing, dude. I need to see more of this. Do we have any videos of this? Not on Spotify, obviously. I don't want to fucking click on Spotify. I can't watch it on Spotify. I don't have an account, but we have to watch the rest of this because, like, Sanjay Gupta is a great person to speak on this sort of stuff because, like, he's pretty good at, you know, dumbing down medical information. Stop saying it's free. I don't care. Just fucking every fucking time, dude. VAERS isn't confirmed. It's mass reporting for any. Oh. This guy just keeps saying I'm a fucking idiot. Go to bed. Why don't you believe blindly? Believe the statistics? Fucking idiot. Go to bed. You're a fucking idiot. Get the fuck out. You're a fucking idiot. You're worried about the small percent of chances you need to get vaccine because COVID is much more likely to live permanent damage? Yeah. It's wild to me. If you're worried about a small percent of chances you need to get the vaccine because COVID is much more likely to live permanent damage, yes. Dude, I looked at the VAERS report while arguing with the chud. They literally have death of a pet listed next to deaths. It's literally ridiculous to use. Yeah, they have fake deaths. They write like insane shit on there. It's self-reported. A normal person can just do that. VAERS has been brigaded before. Out of nowhere, 6,000 deaths were reported from a fucking Ukrainian IP or some shit. Like literally. And they had to yeet all of that. And then, of course, the misinformation people took that and said, and ran with it and said the government is silencing the number of deaths. 6,000 extra deaths out of nowhere were added onto the VAERS system. You can literally put that you got a divorce on VAERS. Yeah. And you want more proof? During times of new vaccines coming out, the VAERS system flares up. Because the misinformation psychos are either as a consequence of mass hysteria or because they purposely want to fucking spread the narrative that vaccines are dangerous, will just fucking false ping. Okay? They do it. They do it for every fucking thing. They do it for literally every vaccine. And then they go away. Those false pings go away. All of a sudden, what? Less people are dying of the vaccine now all of a sudden? No. And I've said this a million times over, but it bears repeating, as always. There were numerous other pharmaceutical corporations that were involved in Operation Warp Speed, and we're not talking about them. You want to know why? Because their vaccines didn't fucking work. That's why. Their vaccines did not work. Their vaccines failed, and that's why the only vaccines that are in distribution are the ones that currently do work. What is this? An unvaccinated child is less at risk of a serious illness than a vaccinated 70-year-old? Emily Oster, an economist at Brown University who frequently writes about parenting, published an article in the Atlantic March that made a lot of people angry. The headline was, "Your unvaccinated kid is like a vaccinated grandma." The article argued that COVID-19 tended to be so mild in children that vaccinated parents could feel comfortable going out in the world with their unvaccinated children. Critics called the article insensitive and misleading. 7 months later, with a lot more COVID data available, the debate over the article looks quite different. Oster is the one who has largely been vindicated. If anything, subsequent data indicates she did not go far enough in describing the age skew of COVID. Today, an accurate version of her headline might be, "Your unvaccinated kid is much safer than a vaccinated grandma." Let's look at some data. Here are the hospitalization rates, both by age and vaccination status in King County, Washington, which includes Seattle, and releases some of the data. Why is an economist writing articles about COVID? He's probably fucking anti-vaxxer or something. That obviously doesn't take into account stopping the spread / immunology / herd immunity. Yeah. Guys, this just in. Are you ready? A medical phenomena. I found out about a fascinating thing earlier today. Old people are more at risk of dying of a disease than young people, which is why young people should never be vaccinated. For anything, really. Yeah, that's right. Very, very fascinating phenomena. I know. Before the change, the definition for vaccination read the act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce immunity for a specific disease. Now the word immunity has been switched to protection. Why? I'm vaccinated, by the way. That's really interesting. Are you aware of the fucking flu shot? Do you know that the flu shot is also a vaccine? Do you know that the influenza flu shot only has 30% efficacy, much lower than the COVID vaccines? Still considered a vaccine, though. Wonder why. You are doing that thing where you don't fucking understand. The GradeAUnderA dude has the dumbest fucking video literally saying that, lol. It's so bad I don't actually want you to watch it on stream. And the worst part is he asked people to come debate him on his Twitch, and my next video is going to be about the vaccine. Yeah, GradeAUnderA has always been a fucking pathetic loser chud who's left prominence and wants to fucking gain some sort of relevance by turning around and you know, doing the anti-vaxxer grift. It's a good way to fucking jump on a captive audience that's like desperately looking for new content to reinforce their biases and fears. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. He was a fucking chud, dude. He definitely was like an anti-SJW Andy. He was like a light anti-SJW Andy. The point I was trying to make is that the Delta variant has been downplayed by the media and administration. We still need a vaccine for the Delta variant. Yeah, good luck fucking promoting a vaccine for the Delta variant, dude. Motherfuckers won't even take the vaccine originally as is. And now all these companies are trying to push booster shots, which, again, people are just not going to take. Even less people are going to take the booster shots. It's just all fucked. At a point like this, I'm just like, yo, protect your own, dude. Protect your loved ones. Make sure they get vaccinated. Protect yourself. Make sure you get vaccinated. Don't fucking die of a preventable disease, okay? Increase your chances of surviving. You have the tools. Here, let's watch this fucking is COVlD Overhyped. There you go. 6-minute video. Like, how will he fucking jam-pack the dumbest shit into a 6-minute video?
Count slowly. Mate, COVID sucks. Stopped us from going to restaurants and gym, stopped us from traveling around, and even stopped us meeting up with friends. Not that.
To be fair, if you listen to a fucking Oibruv like this on anything and you're like, well, this guy's really fucking smart, and you don't immediately jump and be like, to like hating on this dude, I don't know what to tell you.
I never did any of those, right? Mate, I barely leave the house. But still, it sucked. But seriously, I feel like some people don't really know COVID at all.
Now we have over 120 million dead from COVID.
See? Don't know COVID at all. So I thought I'd help out, mate. Because we all want to defeat COVID, right?
The fuck? Did he mean like internationally or something? No, I mean, even then, it's like 4.8 million people have died, not 120 million. So I suspect he meant like 120 million cases. He misspoke and corrected himself right after. How did a video from 2011 predict COVID? I can't believe Joe Biden, who is old as fuck and can barely string together 3 sentences, misspoke. I just like, when I watch GradeAUnderA, it really fucking, it really justifies my Britophobia. You know what I'm saying?
And to defeat your enemy, you must first know your enemy. So in order to fully know COVID, right, I thought I'd make a quick video showing just how deadly it is by looking at the numbers. Because what's that quote, right? Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. See? They don't.
Too many people get famous nowadays just because they're somewhat good looking and not because they're funny or talented or interesting. Sad times. Oreos are crap.
And come to my Twitch afterwards, right? We'll have a nice debate about all this if facts make you...
Yeah, he's trying to fucking hype his Twitch. That's what he's doing.
Once I start counting, it's very hard to stop. Let's do a fun little exercise. Okay, to start, right, let's pick a random number of people. I don't know, let's say, 37,594. Yep, totally random. This is 1 pixel, and this is 37,594 pixels. Each pixel representing 1 person in our test group. Say hi, test group. Hello. Hi. All right, mate. Aren't they cute? Okay, so let's take this group of 37,594 people, right, and infect them all with COVID. for science. And in order to understand just how deadly COVID is, right, or isn't, let's run a little simulation on our cute little test group to see how badly it decimates them. Let's go!
I could count forever, count until I drop.
So first of all, right, we need to know how many of our test group will die by finding out COVID's kill rate. COVID is deadly great, but it's like 70% or something. Wrong! It's just over 2%.
This is like when people look at climate change and go, all right, what are you fucking going on about then? Climate change, all these fucking scientists, Poindexter's talking about a fucking 1 degree centigrade increase in the fucking temperature. It's 1 degree, mate. Just turn the fucking AC on. Yeah, little do you consider that like a 1 degree increase in the global temperatures leads to catastrophic fucking results. 2%. 2%? You know how fucking significant that number is when we're talking about the entire global population? That is an insanely high fucking mortality rate for a virus that is super fucking spread friendly. It's super viral. Do the fucking math, bruv.
What? Yeah, mate. 220 million have gotten COVID with final outcome so far, of which over 215 million have survived.
Only 4.8 million people have died, he says. Like, he actually puts that number there. Only 4 million people have died, yeah. It's like 5 million people have died, dude. How is that supposed to... Who the fuck watches that and goes, oh, all right, never mind, dude.
That's a 98% survival rate. Really? Mate, that's pretty crap for a deadly disease, not gonna lie. Pussy. Which, if we apply to our simulation, that means that of our 37,594 people who we gave COVID, right, a grand total of 838 will die. Rest in peace, boys. But let's analyze those 838 further by seeing what ages COVID affects.
Oh, he's gonna be like, they're old. So they were destined to die. Fuck it. Don't treat them.
COVID is deadly great. It kills people of all ages, young and old, equally and indiscriminately. Wrong. Because
thank you, Blinkadink, for the 10 gifted subs.
according to these death numbers from the CDC, combined with these numbers from the US Census, if you're over 45, you are literally 958 times more likely to die from COVID than someone under 18. What? And if you're over 65, mate, you're almost 2,500 times more likely to die. Oh my God. Yeah, mate, COVID is an old people disease. Only 3% of all COVID deaths are under 45. And 45 is not even that young in the first place.
Wait, but that's still a gigantic number of people, dude. What the fuck? This is so fucking stupid, bro. This is like... It's 3% of the 2% that we're talking about. But even then, it's fucking preventable, dude. That's what blows my goddamn mind. This is preventable. What is he saying that has not also been poorly argued? Yeah. And even then, it's like, what kind of fucking take is this? Like, if you're over the age of 45, it's just like, your life doesn't matter, bruv. You know who else has a likelihood of getting COVID and giving it? People under the age of 45 to people over the age of 45. You know? Ultimately, the only fucking thing that matters, you nonce, ultimately, the only thing that fucking matters is 90% to 99%. That statistic changes depending on where you're looking at. And that percentage is the people who have died of COVID who are unvaccinated. That's it.
Simulation time, which means that of our 838 that died from COVID, right? Unlucky boys. The amount that we would expect to be younger than 45 is just 25 of them. Ah, rest in peace, boys. But let's analyze that remaining 25 one last time and see how many of them were already in shit health to start with.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
I love this argument, dude. 60% of America has a comorbidity, dude. Like 60% of the country. That's fucking insane. You can't imagine in your mind that you're in a situation that's better overall. That's not how public health works. Okay? All right, well, they should have been healthy then. All right, they should have been under 45 and healthy then if they don't want to get fucking COVID and die. Or even if that situation, they could just like literally get, by this dipshit's logic, we should allow everyone to smoke everywhere and stop trying to cure cancer too, I think. Yeah, of course. Of course, dude. Duh. Yeah, people don't die of cancer when they're fucking young, dude. It's over the age of 45. That's right. And by the way, there is truth to it, right? Like, GG's, you were unlucky if you died of COVID. Except, like, that's the entire purpose of humanity, is to work against those unlucky moments. That is the entire purpose behind, that's the driving motivation behind science and scientific achievements. That's literally why we exist. We adapt. We overcome nature. We resist death. We want to fucking live. So, in many ways, these people that fucking speak out against the vaccines and speak out against like COVID protections are doing something incredibly like anti-human. I don't understand it. It's like so far outside of my scope of comprehension that you're just like, it's all right, love. I'll fucking survive, yeah. I'll do it. It won't be me, yeah. Fuck it, yeah, love. Don't do it.
Oh, I love counting.
COVID is deadly good. 96%. Let's skip the foreplay, do you know what I mean? Listen, it was 99% overall, right? But for people under the age of 45 who died from COVID, 96% of them had some other serious underlying health condition. Yeah, rest in peace, you cunts. Listen, thus we get our conclusion from our simulation, mate. That for every 37,594 people who get the deadly COVID, the amount of people it would kill who are old as fuck and are already in shit health to begin with.
Old as fuck. Over the age of 45. Let's see. Let's take a look at something real quick here. What is the population of the United States over the age of 45? The older working age population, ages 45 to 64, made up 81 million people, according to 2010 census. Why can't you just give me the exact number, Google? Why do you have to fucking play this game where you tell me all the individual population numbers? I just want to know how many adults in the United States are over the age of fucking 45. Okay? That's all I want to know. So he's a Nazi saying that it don't matter if the weak die and that young people who are weak had it coming? Pretty much. I know, but that just gives you the median age, or not the median age, but like total workforce, labor force. Thank you, Draco ZM4 for the 5 gifted subs. 122 million over the age of 45. $120 million plus people. 40% of the population of the United States is over the age of 45. 40% of the United States population. 60% of the United States population has a comorbidity. The likelihood that you have comorbidity increases when you get older as well. Basically, this motherfucker made an entire video to be like, if the old and those with a comorbidity fucking, you know, die, then they die. Who cares?
Is one.
The irony, of course, is that, like, even if you're under the age of 45 and, I don't know, you need to go to the fucking hospital, good luck. Because if we don't fucking try to treat this and take public health measures, guess what? All those hospitals are fucking exhausted. And therefore, if you personally have an issue and you go to the hospital, well, then fuck you.
One not old as fuck person who isn't already sick out of 37,594 people. Seriously, what kind of deadly disease is that? Mate, it's shit.
Only killed the old, fat, and pathetic. I want to know what this fucking piece of shit looks like so bad. Only kill the old, fat, and sick, lol, pathetic. Why don't you kill someone respectable, pussy? Get your shit together, bro. Low, you saw COVID. Bet your parents are embarrassed, you bitch.
What kind of deadly disease is that? Mate, it's shit.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah.
So to summarize, we have found that COVID has a 2% death rate, right? And kills mostly the old, fat, and immunocompromised. Big word. So much so that literally tens of thousands of people have to be infected with COVID for it to kill just one healthy person under the age of 45. Very scary.
This is what he looks like.
Let's test this, yeah? And I'm not going to point out myself. I've learned my lesson there.
Hello?
I don't even know if this is real or not, but it's pretty funny. This is kind of how I pictured he would be.
Sure you'll all agree. Listen, COVID's been talked about like it's this deadly thing that wants to and will kill everybody, right? But after seeing these crap figures and specific demographics, I can't help but feel that there's been a lot of fear-mongering going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, right? Has it killed a lot of people? Absolutely. But is it an equal risk to everyone? Absolutely not.
Bro, literally 0 people are saying it's an equal risk to everyone. Like, he has established an argument that no one is making. Like, that's not a thing that people are saying. People aren't saying that, like, COVID is killing everyone at the same fucking rate. That is just not true. So all he did was basically defeat a fucking argument that he crafted out of straw. Yeah, but hey, let me tell you something. To be fair, he fucking destroyed that argument that he also himself built that no one is making. He did. I also love sometimes crafting an argument that no one is making so I can fucking destroy it. We should stop treating everything. We should stop treating every little thing. Every disease. It only kills old people. Most diseases only... We should stop trying to find a cure for HIV. Because, like, HIV doesn't kill you, dude. Your autoimmune system collapses. And then you die of something else. You know what I mean? Why are we even trying to fucking find a cure for AIDS? Great. Is COVID overhyped? Louis Rosman, over 10% dislike rate. I have not watched yet, but I have a feeling this is going to be good. You shook the tree, man. Oh, no. Come on, dude. No, isn't this like the right to... Oh, hey, no. Not this fucking guy. Come on, bro. I thought this dude was smart. Why is he like this? That's sad, dude. Fucking libertarianism. There's no cure for that.
It'd be a lot to say it is. This video's getting long enough as it is, right? But I hope it's helped you make your own decisions on COVID. Video on vaccine soon. And listen, right, no sponsor on this video because it's a COVID video, innit? Controversial topic. So this video is sponsored by Mob.
Okay. Okay, what is this video?
I'm down with it.
Yeah, in my mind,
I'm down with Hasan buying whatever house he wants, banging all the hookers he wants. Let's be clear.
Oh, he's got hookers? Hell yeah.
No, I'm just
Invite
saying.
me over.
I'm just saying. What does that mean?
Yeah, in my mind,
I'm down with Hasan buying whatever house he wants,
What is
banging all
this?
the hookers he wants. Let's be clear.
Oh, he's got hookers? Hell yeah.
No, I'm just
Invite
saying.
me over.
I'm just saying. What does that mean?
What does that mean?